Welcome to the Clash Masters. We are on to day number 2 of the first week ever for this tournament. 130 teams entered, and we are down to just 4. I am Judo Sloth, joined by Itsu.
Thank you so much. And yes, we have an amazing day ahead of a lot of Clash action. But I think we should take a look at the format of the tournament because, well, if you were not here yesterday, we want to get you on board as well. How does this tournament work? Where are all of those 130 teams coming from? Let's take a look at that. We have the qualifier phase first, which means we have 4 weeks of qualifying. The first 3, though, those are the important ones to collect points. And, well, with those collected points, you can qualify for the playoffs later on. But hey, I was talking about 4 qualifiers because there's one last chance qualifier where another 4 teams can make their way into the playoffs. Right now we're in the first qualifier, so this is the final 4 teams which are going to battle it out for points which they can earn in this qualifier. And Judo, this is going to be amazing.
It certainly is. We are on to the 3rd day of week number 1, the 2nd day of the broadcast, as I mentioned, but the first day was actually off screen. So yesterday we had the top teams from this week. We're down to the semifinals. We will have the 3rd place and the finals. And like Itsu said, this is only week 1. There are 4 weeks. Every single week, you could enter. The teams are reset, but at the end of the first 3 weeks, that is where the top 4 teams, based on points gained across the initial 3 weeks of qualifiers, will be counted, and the top 4 teams progress. Then that's where the last chance qualifier comes in on week 4. That one is certainly going to be exciting, but it is not just the points to get into the playoff. There's actually prize money for every single week of the qualifiers.
That's right, Judo. So let's take a look at this graphics. We have qualifiers on the left, and this is what you said, like every single week. And there's already quite some prize money on the line. I mean, $1,500 for the first seed is not too bad. The second seed is going with a lot of prize money as well. $750. The playoffs, there is a lot. Like, this is what everyone wants to reach because there is the big prize money on the line, Judo.
Absolutely. That is where people want to be. $20,000 total prizing. And remember, the first place team is going to be gaining a silver ticket for the World Finals as well. We are just about ready to get into the first matchup. We are going to be seeing alternate attacks and MCES, and then later we will see HT Family and the Queen Walkers. But let's focus on this first matchup, Itsu, because this one we were discussing yesterday is starting to become a little bit of a rivalry between these teams.
Yeah, that's right. They just had their battle in the ESL Mobile Open, and now they are facing off again. So many face-offs for those 2 teams. We have already the first attack in, and Musk is the first attacker for all 10. He's bringing the Queen George Lalo on this really interesting looking base from Remy O. And I have to say, this base, it looks really, really cool. It's kind of like this diamond-shaped base, but it looks completely different at the same time as well. So let's see how that's going to turn out. Nicely timed freeze to keep his queen alive. But there are now a lot of expos and needs to make sure that this queen is getting raged up because right now she's struggling to stay alive.
Yeah, I was thinking that myself. Whenever I see expos behind the town hall, it always makes me a little bit nervous. But actually the wall compartment around the town hall, which is good for a battle blimp, is actually going to divert the queen around the poison. So a really good identification from Mask there that he could mitigate the queen from that damage initially, and then he's creating the pathing with his king so that she'll continue moving towards the center.
Yeah, that's right. The Multi-Inferno Tower is not threatening this queen too much. There's on the clan castle come out the NATO, nicely triggered with this one Cocoloon, but this Multi-Inferno Tower being on those healers is not good for him at all. He needs to freeze up. He needs to make sure that he's buying his healers some time because the queen is eventually going to pop this hound, but Judo, we are seeing this. It is not an easy task for those healers to stay alive. The queen is trying to somehow to get to this Multi-Inferno Tower, but the first healers are dropping. But at this point, he's stalling that Lalo, and let's see if he can somehow make that work and get the bottom side of this base with all of those area explosions. You have to say that And healers are getting targeted from the Eagle as well. Things are going from bad to worse for Musk right now.
Yeah, I think his main target was the Archer Queen across that wall, which fortunately he has taken down, the defending Archer Queen that is. And like you said, just starting that Lavaloon nice and early, still has the Grand Warden ability. But the Grand Warden needs to move on up towards those balloons as he gets that ability, and in they go. But unfortunately, he just doesn't really have many of them towards the back end where the Lava Hounds are tanking. They have gone. But will this heal spell come in handy, Itsu? It really needs to be placed well here. Notice he still has a couple of balloons for that top wizard tower.
Yeah, and the perfect tanking of the Royal Champion, like really making sure that the Royal Champion is staying alive as well with that heal spell. But now time is ticking as well. We saw yesterday a lot of time fads as well. The hasted loons on the left side are a nice addition. He's holding back one loon to make sure that he can drop that on the gold storage. As soon as the Uzi Tower is dropping, there it goes in the haste. And Judo, I think we see the first 3-star of today from Alternate, and they're going in strong. After yesterday having like a rough start. But today they're starting strong in this match versus MCES.
Exactly what they needed to kick off this war. Like you said, if you missed yesterday's matchups, Alternate Attacks started with two 2-stars, and their opponents, Fireworks, started with 2 3-stars. So they found themselves behind from the off and really did a good job to get it back. However, like we've mentioned, MCES did win the most recent matchup between these two teams in the ESL Mobile Open. MCES obviously going on to win the entire thing. But Alternate, they got the victory in the World Championships, and I'm pretty sure they would probably take that as their main priority.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. And I mean, so far, we know both teams are easily capable of getting those 3-stars in. So it's nice to see Alternate back on track with putting on the pressure early. But at the same time, we're talking about MCES, one of the best teams in the world. So looking forward to see what they can bring in with their next attack. We have to mention as well, in this tournament, they are running a different roster from which you're used to know in Clash Worlds. They're having Lou on their roster as well, who is supporting them. And we hear the sound of the new King skin getting placed at the top side. And those, like, there were a lot of Black Mines already. And you can see the Dragons and Dragon Rider combination with some Rocket Loons and land the Blimp. Most likely at some point towards the town hall. And yes, that's exactly what it looks like too.
Yeah, Cynthia moving in first here, decides not to go with his Hog Riders or his Skelly Donut, anything like that. Going with the Dragons, something I haven't seen him do a lot of, but he's got the funneling very nice for the Dragons. The Battle Blimp actually helping with that. Single target Inferno just next to the Town Hall there could be a little bit of an issue, but he does still have plenty of spells, and the Royal Champion, which, yes, will come into that side, so we can turn the RC invisible, help out with this. The Dragons just need to hurry up across this left-hand side because his heroes are also taking a lot of damage in that area.
Yeah, and there's, I mean, still quite a bit of base left, especially now with this double skeleton trap popping up. It's not going to be an easy task for the Royal Champion. Maybe lose the Royal Champion ability early so the damage is getting taken down by the Royal Champion shield. The defending King is engaging versus that Queen. The last Dragon Rider is falling. And Judo, this is not looking too good for him. Can he somehow make that work though? But the invisibility spell is keeping that Royal Champion safe for now. The Unicorn is keeping that Queen safe for now. And maybe this was too early the call because he has 1 minute and 20 seconds left. Can he make this?
Ooh, the Royal Champion went down, but like you said, he has the Queen ability. He's decided to pop it, interestingly, to help with time, I presume. She does have to get through a couple of buildings, but actually, with the Unicorn and the protection of the Archers, she does get to the Archer Tower, takes it down, and with everything converging to the south of the base, it will be a 3-star for Cynthia. Definitely a little bit close towards the end, but he managed to have an early stab into the base with the Dragons, and it meant that he had plenty of time left over. Beautiful start from both of these teams, exactly what we expected it to.
Yeah, that's right. This was the start which we expected coming into the semifinals. And yeah, I mean, Sinti, he is a crazy creative attacker, going in with the air on this base overall. And yes, at the end was a bit close, but I mean, a 3-star is a 3-star. This is everything what counts, and getting in the next couple of stars on the board for them. But the next team is going to be Alternate yet again to attack. I mean, they have both teams actually, but Alternate having so many more star players on the roster. Musk was the first one to attack with the successful Queen Charge Lalo. And the one thing which I still like, I was thinking like, okay, it's bad that this Queen went down at the first attack. But I think the point which you mentioned was like the heal spell, so I guess he maybe planned on that, so it was a really, really good charge overall. And then the Lalo just for like cleanup purposes, I would say. And let's see what the next attack looks like. Yesterday we had Boom attacking quite early with his favorite approach with the Blizzard. So let's see if he's going to do that again. And one thing which Alternate right now favorites like quite a bit, like they really like the mass Dragon Rider attack strategy with like lightnings or like a Blizzard in the beginning. So maybe we're going to see a little bit more from that strategy in the match of Alternate.
Yeah, I was just about to ask for your insight actually on who you thought was going to be attacking next, but you obviously answered that. I think we do see Boom coming up quite a lot as the second player for Alternate attacks, and as you mentioned, he tends to stick with the Blizzard, but then we have Vale who more, goes towards the lightning spell style attack, so they do have that diversity. And it is asked actually, he is using the lightning, rotating around the Eagle artillery. I think I missed exactly what he got alongside that, but one of the multis is down, just trying to, expos are still there. So it looks like the multi-target Inferno and the Eagle artillery, as well as pathing, obviously.
Yeah, and especially with such a big building itself, like the Eagle, if you take this down inside the base, it's obviously good pathing, but those Tesla might mess it up. Like, if those Tesla are surrounding that Eagle, which it might seem like, this is not the cleanest pathing anymore. Like, he was hoping to get rid of those storages to make sure the Dragon pathing is really nice. Now sending a couple of more, one Rocket Loon actually in there to make sure that the pathing is somehow working. The NATO's over there as well. The Warden ability is perfect, and the defending Queen actually is doing everything back inside. This blimp, though, needs to make it. Since the tornado trap's already out of the picture, it should get the tunnel out of the way. No problem whatsoever. And this so far is looking quite strong, especially because we have so many ground expos left. And to be honest, Dragons, they don't feel that threatened by those ground expos too, though.
They certainly do not. And notice the Royal Champion deployed right across to the left-hand side, though obviously out of the way of the ground expos. That is where it can be a threat. So he's trying to let the Dragons get that down. First ground expo does fall, but getting to the back end of the base, he is going to probably have to rely on the hero abilities. He's still got a couple of Dragon Riders, though, moving across. This looks pretty promising, I would say, as the RC ability goes off. That gets the air defense. That is huge, particularly so that he can have the Dragon Riders and that Dragon help out. And there is nothing jinxing this attack. Now, Itsu, alternate attacks might have started off with a slow attack initially, going down to the wire due to that Queen charge, but Ast made sure to correct that average attack time. Almost a minute left over, and another 3-star. Beautiful start to this war all around.
Yeah, an interesting decision to run like a 4 ground expo base, which we saw yesterday that Fireworks was successfully to defend a couple of those air-based attacks from Alternate with having quite a few air expos. And this is something which is really interesting to like follow the setups of the buildings, which you can actually change, which means expos and Inferno Towers. It's really interesting to watch the pros, see the decision making on base, what is strong on the base, what is strong in the meta. And it feels like this base definitely was trying to defend ground more than air. At least that's what it seems like. And especially with the triggering, or with being able to trigger the NATO trap that early, that was a huge, huge power spike for that blimp, taking down the Town Hall nice and easy, and allowing him to get the next 3-star on the board for Alternate.
Yeah, definitely didn't work out in MCES's favor, that one. I guess, you know, if you've got the Royal Champion left over at the end of the base, but it still doesn't justify having all of the expos, like you said, on ground. So would be interesting to know exactly what all MCES were trying to do with that base. But either way, we do know the strength of both of these teams. And yesterday we talked about the magic number being around about 13 stars. But I know that many clans got more than that. Alternate Attacks, I think, have been the only clan to get a perfect within these latter stages, though, with their 15-14 win over, wasn't it, JX Tiger?
JX Tiger, yeah. Yeah, that was a crazy match. I mean, 14-15. This is not a result which you see all day long, even with the current meta. And we have the next attack coming in, and Ariam is coming in with a really interesting approach, sniping that area defense with rocket loons to make sure the blimp is flying. And take a look at that. Oh, those headhunters.
Headhunter? Oh dear. Now he did manage to. Yeah, I think he basically wanted it into that compartment, so he did manage to get it there, but obviously very tricky with the headhunters slowing down the blimp. Does have the tornado trap, but essentially he's managed to get what he wanted from this compartment. He doesn't have any other invisibility spells left over. Yes, it would have been nice to either get that Expo or the Tesla, which he probably didn't know was there. So Expo he might have wanted because of this hero dive, but I think he got away with that one and got what was essential.
Yeah, and the King is tanking nicely. I mean, just take a look at how tanky this King is. Like, this Expo is like shooting non-stop. But the King is not taking too much damage in the beginning. Now with the enemy Royal Champion engaging is getting a bit more dangerous for him. But the Royal Champion and the attacking Queen should easily take the other defenses out, especially the Royal Champion now hopping over the wall, taking out the multi-inventory as well. And this value right now is looking incredible for Ariam. Only the Eagle. If he can take down the Eagle nice and early, this is looking really good, because take a look at the defending heroes which are left. This is only the King, which means it's the Scatter Shot, the Core Multi, and the Eagle, which at this point are the biggest threats to this Lalo. And so far he has done a nice job of spreading out his loons quite a bit. But this Eagle is targeting the first big group of loons. Maybe he has to use the Warden Blitz, Judo.
He does that exactly as you called it, Itsu. The Queen was trying to get into that central compartment, but she just didn't quite make it. What is going to happen with these balloons now? He's having to send some in from the top area of the base. Very nicely does that to get through the initial haste that was there with the freeze, but all of the air traps are in the center as we might have suspected, and that means he now does not have an answer for the multi. And as this last group comes through, I just don't think they're going to be able to get there, Itsu.
Yeah, it's going to be tricky. I mean, maybe the Warden and the Owl. We saw so many attacks where the Owl was the difference maker. The air defense, though, is sniping out that Warden, which is a lot of HP, which those dudes are missing. Take a look at how fast they are dropping. The Owl is trying its best to somehow carry this attack back, but with 18 seconds and the multi-inferno tower still standing, I don't think that this is going to be enough. Maybe the Owl could at some point get the multi-inferno tower down. We don't see the HP right now, but with only 6 seconds left, I don't think that this is going to be enough. Oh, it has full HP, so it should be a defense. Anyways, 98%, and this means the first defense of this match for Alternate is giving them already a small lead against MCES, and maybe they can get their revenge versus this other powerhouse team.
Maybe. It's still early days, but it is the advantage to Alternate. What do you think was his plan for the multi-target Inferno there? Do you think that the Royal Champion was maybe intended to split off there, or do you think he had an idea of the Lavaloon moving into that central area? I'm interested to hear your thoughts, Itsu.
I mean, with Lalo, you can pretty much decide your own pathing, right? Like with the deployment of the loons, and this is just the power of the strategy. Maybe he was not quick enough with the 9 o'clock loon part, which means like he could have pushed the first group of loons into the core. Maybe that was the problem, not really sure. But yeah, this is why Lalo is so hard to execute. But we have already the next attack coming in. We have Sir Iron for the alternate side, and we have the Queen George Dragon Rider army composition. And we have an interesting Town Hall compartment. This Town Hall compartment looks really interesting with the single front tower in this. Yeah, like, I have not seen a compartment like this in a long time. So let's see if he's going to wall break in there as well, or if he's going to let his queen walk around that. And then we have to wait, because how many expos are yet again? We have 2 back-end air expos, which might be a big game changer versus those Dragon Riders.
Certainly could be. He did break into that little compartment, as you said. Will be able to get the single down relatively easily. Clan Castle troops will still cause Sir Iron a little bit of an issue, and there are some Tesla on that right-hand side, which will continue to distract and slow the Queen down on her route towards that town hall. Does decide to send a couple of balloons in order to help speed this process up, because the Dragon Riders, whilst they're very powerful, you do have to be somewhat cautious on time, and that looks like why he is beginning from that left-hand side. Just using one of them, interestingly, whilst there's no air targeting defenses in that area, to quickly flush out some of those defenses and help get some minions in because of time.
Yeah, and he's actually forcing his king inside the base, which is a really interesting move. We don't see those often, and this base is running 2 single Inferno Towers as well. Yet again, we want to take a look at Expos and Inferno Tower setups, and this base, as we said, 2 single Inferno Towers is interesting because they can just easily melt those Dragon Riders. Now the vulnerabilities, so far not too many Black Mines were caught with this vulnerability. Oh, there are the first Black Mines coming up. The Slammer, though, is getting destroyed, and now the question is the backhand enough? Yes, still 1 rage. The Royal Champ ability is still there as well. So this is still looking really, really promising for Iron.
Certainly is with that invisibility. What does he do? The Barbarian King is slamming onto the Royal Champion. It's a tough position to deploy the invisibility to the Royal Champion because he doesn't want to turn the Barbarian King invisible, so actually saves onto it. Perhaps he just wants the Queen to finish this off. She can get access to every single building, and obviously once that Archer Tower locks on behind the scatter, I'm assuming he's then going to be sending in the 3 minions to help clean out that right-hand side. Now uses the rage. There is still a Tesla down the bottom that I didn't quite see. It's going to have to hope that he gets this area down quick enough to loop the Queen back down over.
Yeah, he has 1 wall break which he could use for the king, but I think at this point it's going to be too late. But as long as there are no more skeletons coming up, even though the Queen is getting chased by them, there's the wall break, there's the NATO, and this means with the damage of the wall break, he should get it. Really nicely done. It was a bit close at the end with like time, but I mean, he got everything under control. So really nice 3-star yet again for Alternate, and they're showing why they are so strong. Like in the current tournaments, they're so dominant. Well, yet again, it's looking good for them against MCES, but they are up next, and they can get the next 3-star in as well. Really looking forward to see the next strategy though. Like MCES always is mixing things around. I feel like Kingsman is the most consistent player by them strategy-wise. Like he's mostly going with Queen charges. So let's see what is going to be next with their attack strategy pool.
Yeah, they need to be sure to get that 3-star, otherwise this war would get out of hand for them, I feel. As you said, Itsu, a 3-star is a 3-star, so it doesn't matter how long is left in terms of time, just getting it on the board. And alternate attacks clearly out for revenge here after that ESL Mobile Open slip up to MCES. Starting out perfectly, and Kingsman does tend to come in with the hybrid quite often as well, obviously with the Queen charge as you mentioned, but he is one of the players I see consistently using this strategy. And yesterday we got a great demonstration of it, didn't we?
Yeah, yesterday that was really impressive, his Queen charge. Let's see if he can repeat that today. He has one of the worst clan castles to face, which is like the split clan castle lure, which means you're luring half of the archers, you have no clue what is in there except there, like there could be more headhunters in there, more goblins, more archers, whatever. So it's really annoying, but there are actually some super minions in there. He's dropping the poison for them, but still it took already a lot of time to only get through the first couple of archers. Already nearly 45 seconds into the attack, and he took out 13% of the base just yet. So for sure he needs to make sure that this attack is not running out of time. But so far the Queen charge is getting into the town hall, taking down the town hall, and then needs to take down the Sting Inferno Tower, which is right behind that. That might be a big problem for him.
Seems that way, and he does invest the invisibility. You raised a really interesting point there though, Itsu, because the Clan Castle does tend to have different types of troops. Some of them are just to slow them down, and like you said, healers now very vulnerable. One red air bomb would trigger that. I'm trying to split my focus across different areas here. The air defense, though, Itsu, is picking off those healers super quick because they've literally got no health.
Yeah, the Eagle in the beginning unfortunately targeted those healers. And now we have the triple giant bomb at the bottom of this base. Okay, maybe they expected the charge, maybe they expected this hybrid part. But so far we see a lot of hybrids still left, I think. It's really hard to spot them always. And with only having the biggest threat, like with the scatter shot on the back end, I think it's still looking pretty good. With having the Royal Champion ability still not even used. And the King is going towards the outside, clearing some other buildings. The Royal Champion is still holding on her ability. We have 45 seconds yet again left. Can he make this, Jude? What do you think?
Oh, it's very close to call. I actually think as long as there's not a Skelly Trap next to the multi, he should be good to get this with the Royal Champion. Yeah. But it's really whether she can get straight onto that multi, across to the cannon. Down it goes. And yes, she will get to the multi-target Inferno. And is she going to get it? Please don't tell me that I've jinxed him. No, I have not. Time could be an issue, though, as the minion comes across. There's one miner on the storage trying to do damage. Gold storage. Oh, my word. Come on. Come on.
There is just so much with the Wizards, with the Barbarians, with everything. But the Warden is going for the wall as well, supporting the main troop. Oh, the storage was already low.
Told you.
The storage being low. And Kingsman is getting in the 3-star. Really clutch attack, because we're seeing that in the stats right now. Percentage-wise and stars-wise, this is, yeah, staying close, this matchup. And 2% and 1 star is all the difference right now. And both teams are showing their best, right? And we have Alternate going in next. And I have to say, I cannot wait to see what is still happening. We have Boom and Yo-Yo still left to attack, I think, for Alternate. So this is going to be interesting to see if, well, Yo-Yo is sticking to Lalo, either Queen Charge or through Lalo. And then we have Boom with his Blizzard-based attacks typically. So far, which is quite interesting, we have not seen too many mass Dragon Rider attacks from Alternate, which yesterday they really preferred quite a bit. But I don't know, like, it seemed really strong when they used it, so I'm kind of like surprised that they're not going to run it yet again. Maybe they know that, I don't know, MCES is liking to defend it. But we have Boom coming in, and he is coming in with Lalo, yes, but not with the Blizzard. Instead, we see the Lightnings coming in to take on this base, Judo.
Yeah, an interesting play we don't always see from Boom. Is it Yo-Yo that's up next? Is Vale not playing today? Because I do know that he normally does like the lightning spells, so Boom may be taking inspiration from that. He's got a good push into both sections of the base here, with the Queen obviously getting the Town Hall. King has that nice shield from the Ice Golem to help get the scatter shot. And notice the Royal Champion down there as well, just helping to pick off those defenses, will help to carve out this entire western side of the base. So he could just Lalo right across the top, because there's no sweepers up in that area either.
Yeah, no sweepers whatsoever. The Clancast, though, is now coming out. The Headhunters are just melting that Queen and running now into the direction of that King. The Super Minions still, they're out of the poison so far, which means if they're going to survive, that would be really bad news. But so far, the hero power is looking amazing. Can he even take down the scatter shot? It's looking so far like he could. Yes, scatter shot is going down. And now this looks pretty convincing. The only thing which he has to deal with is this defending Clancast, the Super Minions. But there's the Baby Dragon and a couple of his own minions. Is this going to be enough? The Multi-Inferno Tower and the defending Royal Champion. This is the next big threat and the next big thing which he has to overcome.
Still has the Stone Slammer. Oh, I thought he was going to deploy it at 12 o'clock after I seen those first couple of balloons, but actually sends it in towards this back-end Tesla farm and the multi-target Inferno, trying to just flush that area out because he has a Dragon Rider in there, but a Seeking Air Mine gets across. It actually hit the balloon, not the Dragon Rider. Either way, Boom has so many balloons surrounding this area. Despite the Tornado Trap picking a lot of them up, they still managed to crush down the multi-Inferno as they spin around. Look at all of the red air bombs. Too little, too late for Kingsman. Still has the balloon in order to deploy. As that final bomb tower goes down, it will obviously redirect to the gold storage, speeding up the time. But either way, alternate attacks remain a star in the lead. So time really isn't a factor for them right now.
Yeah, it's so impressive to see those pros with the Lalo attacks. Like, Lalo looks so strong in the right hands, just taking down the core of the base, and then just how they use their heroes. I think that's the key thing. If you can make sure that your heroes are getting so much, just as Boom just did with Town Halls, Get a Shot, like so many different things which they took down. I feel like at this point, like Lalo feels only as cleanup, but it looks so strong when they're doing it. So really impressive hero pop by Boom yet again. And now MCF, as you said, MCS really need to, yeah, like keep concentrating, hoping for a defense, and hoping to somehow get a comeback in this really close match so far.
I mean, the thing on MCES's side, I guess, is it was a high percentage that they had, but you know, it's alternate attacks, the way they're performing right now. Do they slow down? It's difficult to say that, but at least MCES did have, it was 98, wasn't it? It was very close to 99. I think the Expo was very low in hit points as that hour was moving across, but 98% does mean that any slip up from alternate attacks is going to potentially give MCES a chance of getting this, but either way, they are going to need 2 3-stars and the defense.
Yeah, it's not an easy task, especially considering that you're versus alternate. And we have Remio coming in with 6 Dragon Riders, and this is going to be this Blizzard Dragon Rider strategy, which we were talking about yesterday from alternate, and they seem to found a nice spot for a Blizzard, going for this Multi-Inferno Tower and creating some nice pathing already. And then obviously being able to take down the defending queen. Yes, she goes down. The super wizards as well. But I feel like that much value was not really there. He got the clan castle lure. That was another important thing. And the defending queen going down. Those are the key things which you want to get. I feel like with this Blizzard Mass Dragon Rider attack strategy, you always want to get like a key defense, which for example is this Get a Shot or like just pathing. And then obviously taking down at least one of the defending air heroes. This is like the key thing to go for. Right now he's funneling his king into the compartment of the scatter shot, but there's so many traps. Not sure if that king is going to get out of the value he wanted him to get.
Yeah, the Yak is starting on the scatter shot, will help to take that down. As long as the king gets the wizard tower, that's obviously helpful as well in terms of pathing. And like you said, the queen now going to be able to get even higher damage in terms of that town hall. So he's taken this entire left-hand side. I do feel he wanted a little bit more from the Blizzard. I think he missed that final invisibility, allowed the scatter to lock on, but the good thing about keeping an invisibility spell is you can be flexible with it, particularly with the Royal Champion. As you see, moving in to supplement the Dragon Riders, he's got quick access to the Royal Champion, the other air targeting hero, which will go down. A couple of Seeking Air Mines going off, which will be tanked through that Warden ability, and it's really just if he can get his spells placed correct here at 2.
Yeah, the spell placement is really important. Obviously, the rage, especially because those Dragon Riders are so quickly out of those rages, since they're quite a ranged troop. And the Eagle shots are hammering away on those Dragon Riders. The first Black Mans are hitting them as well on the left side. And the defending Warden, take a look at that defending Warden, it's dealing so much damage. But the really nice invisibility spell is keeping his own Royal Champion alive for now. But can this still be a defense? I mean, the last Dragon Rider is quite a bit at some HP, and the last remaining defense, which is somehow a threat, is this Archer Tower and should go down easily. So yeah, it was a close one, but this is going to be for sure a 3-star for Remio, and this was something which is really important. Oh, wait a second. Is time going to be a thing?
I was going to say, as long as there's no traps or any significant traps over this area, because the Barbarian King is there, and that will shield a few seconds off the minions. Then they need to get across. 10 seconds. He's only got a couple on the clan castle. Fortunately, no red air bombs at the moment. Gold storage goes down. Are they going to get it? 3, 2, 1. Clan castle is there. Oh, they do get it on the buzzer, and MCES needed that. 98%, remember, was their previous fail, so everything's still to play for. If alternate attacks get less than a 98% 2-star in this final attack, then MCES can take it.
Yeah, that's right. That was so close. Like the owl with the last shot somehow saving the day. Yeah, I mean, they now need a defense, as you mentioned, and this is not an easy thing against Alternate, especially if they're on fire like this. Yeah, Yo-Yo is going to be the last attacker. Looking forward to see what he's going to go with, because, I mean, yesterday was Sui Lalo. Typically, he really likes to run the Queen Charge Lalo as well, so my guess would be something based on Lalo. But really looking forward to see his attack, and let's see if he's giving MCES a comeback chance, or if it's going to be a clean sweep with the perfect war, which it would be the second time for them getting a perfect war, and they would be the only team to be able to achieve one of those. So Yo-Yo's in, it's Queen Charge Lalo time, and yeah, looking forward to see how he's smashing the space maybe.
Absolutely. I have to say, I love the fact that Lavaloon is kind of back in the meta, and we do get to see Yo-Yo using it because he is so proficient with this strategy. You can see the Champion King skin, his skin of choice for this one, the little Champion Barbarians getting flung off in the background, but he's struggling a little bit in that top area, Itsu. And I'm not sure if he intended to get that multi-target Inferno, but he is not going to get close to it.
Yeah, that's definitely a problem for him. I feel like the Lalo was supposed to get started from the top side, but now he needs to get started in such a wide angle. It's going to be tricky. The Royal Champion is going to be played for the scatter shot maybe, but the Royal Champion is having a problem with the top left still standing. So let's see how he's going to deal with that. There's the poison for the defending clan castle. Super minions are coming out as well. There's the freeze, and this is for now looking pretty good, but at the same time, Royal Champion not even placed, the Slammer not even placed, so yeah, everything can still happen. There's the Royal Champion for the scatter shot to take some damage off that Queen. The Queen is now charging in a lot of big, heavy defenses, like the Single Inferno Tower. He needs to use the Queen ability most likely. I guess he's concentrating right now on the Lalo. This is why he's not investing any spells. There is the giant bombs and the Queen and the poison. Oh!
He rages and keeps her alive. What? How did she survive? I thought the giant bomb was going to finish her off, but she is charging through that back area, continues to take defenses, and turns this raid into a much more promising sight for Yo-Yo. He had the troops to adapt, like you said, the Royal Champion, the Slammer. He had so many options. And in the end, it is not even close. It's Yo-Yo showing his strength, finishing off the perfect war for alternate attacks. Like you said, we've only seen 2 perfect wars throughout this tournament ever, and it's both from alternate attacks. What more can MCES do? They drop 2 percentage points, and that's it. MCES are out. Alternate attacks will take it. What a performance.
That was crazy, especially like you said, the beginning with the King was not planned at all. Like the King was supposed to clear out the entire compartment, but the way how Yo-Yo reacts with this Lalo is just so impressive, and how he kept that Queen alive, I have no clue how he did that. I mean, my Queen would have died 10 out of 10 times over there. Like, just how he's reacting to the things which are happening to his Queen is super impressive, especially in that town of poison ticking and everything. There was last second as well. But hey, he's getting it done. Alternate is getting it done. But at the same time, we have one last attack as well from MCES coming our way. And most likely another fun attack to watch, since both teams are really creative and really strong attackers. So far in this match, only 2% were missed. Otherwise, all of those attacks were 3 stars. Really impressive. I think Alternate mainly ran Lalo overall. Barely any other strategies. I think maybe one Dragon attack. But otherwise, mainly Lalo. MCES were like mixing things up a little bit more with like Mass Dragon Riders as well. So let's see, looking forward, and let's see what they're coming in with their last attack now.
Absolutely, and remember, we will see MCES facing off against the loser of HT Family and Queen Walkers for the 3rd and 4th place matchup. We will be playing that today because it impacts the prize money for week 1, but also the points in terms of actually getting through to the qualifiers. So it is, or to the playoff stage, sorry, this is the qualifier. So it is still an important attack here, not to go, trying to swag anything or getting clever, because they still need to make sure they are on point for the matchup later today, too.
Yeah, like the matches are not over, as you just said. They're going to play a few more matches today. And this one is going to be one of the Suilalo attacks from Lu, who is so good with this attack strategy. So let's see how he's going to attack this base of iron. He's already sacrificing his Royal Champion quite early to make sure that there's some pathing. But at the same time, I feel like this Wizard Tower was maybe supposed to go down because the Queen should be able to reach it. So let's see if she's getting somehow distracted over there. The Semifinal Tower is on that King as well, but the Queen so far is pathing perfectly into the town direction. He wants to take down everything. Bomb Tower should be taken down as well, which means most of the Barbarians are staying alive and being able to tank for that Queen. And this so far is looking pretty promising. The Queen is even stepping around, going for the Semifinal Tower, and then should be able to take down the town hall really soon as well. There's the freeze. And with the Queen ability, it should be no problem whatsoever to take down the Town Hall, and then the Lado part can get started.
Beautiful job. So calculated on that, because I think the hero dive is so difficult to do. You know, we see all of the lightning spell openers, the blizzard, the queen charge, but actually just sending your heroes in with nothing else is so difficult to then set up the Lavaloon. And like you said, he was able to control them through that area very well. But the main thing for me is, whilst Lalo is a quick attack, he's got 1 minute 20 to clean up the rest of the base. And there is quite a bit of base left over Itsu as he is trying to reinforce with the balloons on that top side. And thankfully, the dragon in the middle does indeed get the multi-target Inferno.
Yeah, but a big group of loons died in that core versus all of those red mines. He was not able to catch them in that vulnerability, but at the same time, there is such a big loon parade coming in for this back, and there's a scatter shot left, but he's dropping the skeleton spell not only to take down the defending queen, but as well tanking that scatter shot, which is nice. All of those loons are just rushing into that scatter shot to take down the backhand. The Wizard Tower, though, is still standing. So far it looks promising, but that queen is not going down. Maybe with the owl.
Owl and the pups are... Oh, they do indeed get it. So we have... Oh, look at the pups! They took out 3 Seeking Air Mines, which is huge for these balloons as they move on through. We do have that Wizard Tower, as you mentioned. Where do the balloons go? Gets a little bit of a split, but they're not going to the Wizard Tower. Will they continue to tank it for the minions and the lava pups? Either way, there's only 10 seconds. Balloons continue to crash to the ground, and it's not going to happen. MCES might have just about got the 3-star in that last attack, but this one just didn't happen. A 98 and a 99% fail on the side of MCES means it is a 15 to 13 star win for Alternate, who will progress to this week's final.
Yeah, that's right, but we're going to see MCS yet again. They're going to face off against the loser of the HD Family versus Queen Walkers matchup. So this one is going to be great as well. But the next match is the match which I just mentioned, because we're going to take a look at HD Family facing off against Queen Walkers in just a couple of minutes. And this one, Judo, is going to be a crazy one.
It certainly is, particularly how we seen these teams yesterday. I think in terms of Queen Walkers versus Space Station, as good as Space Station Gaming are, most people would have picked Queen Walkers for that. But in terms of HT Family versus Tompenai Empire, that would have been a little bit more slanted in terms of the predictions, I think. And HT Family really tore Tompenai Empire apart, you have to say, holding them back with their impressive defenses.
Yeah, I think, yes, like the Tompenai versus HT Family match was by far the defensive heaviest, I guess, like with 11 to 12. So that was quite surprising. Looking forward to see if the same story is going to repeat today, if HT Family is still having those OP bases. At the same time, I don't know if those legend bases are going to work yet again against Queen Walkers, because a lot of them are still, like, at least quite often pushing. So this might be a factor as well, but really interested to see how those two teams are approaching this and how the results are going to look like, because 11 stars versus Tompenai, that is some impressive stuff from HT Family.
It certainly is, especially when you think of how good Tompenai Empire are. They've already secured their golden ticket into the World Championship Finals. So we know how good they are offensively. And like you said, especially in the current meta, to hold off 4 attacks is huge. But the Queen Walkers, they're kind of known for their offense, how good and strong they are. But like you said, they tend to push as well, and on numerous accounts. So maybe HT Family will flip the bases because of that, now that they know they're going up against the Queen Walkers, whereas yesterday it was a little bit tricky to know who you were going up against. Maybe HT Family will have been able to take the time since yesterday. They know they're going up against Queen Walkers and make some last-minute adjustments to whatever bases they're going to run.
Yeah, that's right. But at the same time, how do you bait some players like Klaus or Stars, right? Like how do you bait what they're doing? They're super creative in what they're doing. So maybe you should try to approach and defend the strategies of Gaku and Stardra maybe, or Utah, which are more predictable, I would guess. But yeah, it's not an easy task at all. Like, I remember the time back then on Tower 13 where like everyone knew what is about to hit them from Queen Walkers. Like, they always did the same thing, but no one was able to defend it because they did it in their own style in such a unique way, which was nearly impossible to defend or like prepare against. And this was, yeah, the way to the second seed in the World Championship. And that was truly impressive. Let's see if they can make it yet again now against HG Family, and maybe mess up some baits or completely avoid them. But yet again, HG Family yesterday looked really impressive. So it's hard to call for me at this point.
Yeah, definitely a tricky one. So we will have to find out exactly what they do. We can take a look at the updated bracket for you. Obviously, following that last match of Alternate Attacks and MCES, you can see Alternate moving through to this week's final. MCES now in that third place, and the match we are looking at is HT Family and Queen Walkers. But remember, this is only the Qualifier 1. We have 4 different weeks of qualifiers. The first 3 weeks are added together in terms of points. So the format that you are looking at now is only for this week to gain points and the prize money for the specific week. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's the overall tournament winner. We've got a lot of exciting matches and weeks ahead.
Yeah, that's right. So I think we should go into a really small break and then come back with both teams being ready. HG Family and Queen Walkers is going to be our next match. So get a drink maybe or something, and then we're going to see you in a couple of minutes back with the next match.
Welcome back to Clash Masters. We just had our first semi-final match between Alternate Attacks and MCES. Alternate Attacks gaining the victory, but now we have HT Family versus the Queen Walkers, Itsu.
That's right, and we have some really interesting teams coming up. I mean, HT Family yesterday played versus Tompen Empire to get into this phase of the tournament, and they won 12-11 versus them, which is a really low score match overall. Queen Walkers faced off against Space Station and won 13-12 against them. So had their consistency with the 13 stars. We were talking about that earlier, that the majority of the matches, there's like this golden number of having 13 stars and being really likely to win a match. I mean, except if you're going up against alternate, but except that, this rule was pretty successful, like was pretty accurate, I would say, over the tournament. So let's see if that's going to be the case again between those two teams, or if we're going to see yet again one of those really crazy high score matches overall. And that would be, I mean, I don't know what looks cooler, like seeing base builders succeed or seeing a lot of 3 stars with crazy strategies. It's like always, I'm not really sure about that, Judo.
Yeah, I guess it probably just comes down to your personal preference on what you enjoy seeing more from the game, because I know a lot of people do like to see those really well-built bases, particularly when you know that something has been perfectly baited. But I feel we have the best of both worlds here, because like you said, HT Family did incredibly well to hold off Tompenai Empire to just 11 stars, and we don't even need to tell anybody about the creativity of the Queen Walkers. They just know. They've seen it consistently time and time again. So it really is going to be a battle of both worlds. It's just whether HT Family can actually bring their attacking game as well, because they are very good at attacking. It's kind of just the consistency that lets them down, a little bit like what we were talking about NGT Legends yesterday.
Yeah, HT Family yesterday had 14 and 12 stars, which is an average of 13 stars. Queen Walkers the same with the average of 13, but they had 13 stars twice. So both teams so far, not with the craziest high-scoring matches. I mean, 14, yes, sure, but then 12 after that. So it's going to be interesting to see what this match will look like. But at the same time, this is what the top teams are as well all about, which is thriving under pressure. This is like something which is really important, and we're starting off with HT Family with using air. We have dragons, we have one Inferno Dragon, and 4 Dragon Riders.
This is what we've tended to see from HT Family, the Dragon Family strategy. And from a couple of the Chinese clans, actually, it tends to be something they quite like. And it is a strategy that we sometimes see for the first attack, because as you can clearly see here, there's not a huge amount of planning. A couple of funneling troops, diving the king into that compartment, yes, but then send the dragons through. Notice the split on the headhunters, though, Itsu. I think there's about 5 headhunters in the defending clan castle from the Queen Walkers.
Yeah, a lot of headhunters. I mean, you always have to consider maybe they do not have access right now for those super minions, because obviously you need to have them ready to be able to donate them. And this is always a big problem for a couple of those pro teams, because, for example, when you're pushing, you have maybe, I don't know, sneaky goblins and something else selected, so you can't always donate those super minions. So maybe this was, yeah, their second best choice, but either way, the Royal Champion is coming in for the back and scatter shot. But there are so many skeleton traps on ground, so Lassie is having to tank quite a bit. There is still the Dragon Rider going strong. At the same time, with the ground expo, can the owl bounce that?
It needs to. Oh, the clan castle went down first. The owl moves across. Can it help to take it out? It does. And the Royal Champion ability is going to be enough to get this. A little bit shaky towards the end there for HT Family, but it is going to be the opening 3-star. We can talk about their consistency in terms of their 12-star performance yesterday, but up against the Queen Walkers, they mean business here, starting with a 3-star. Exactly what they would have wanted to do, no doubt. Now it's up to the Queen Walkers, but we are going to be seeing the bases which we've been speculating from HT Family.
Yeah, that's right. I saw yesterday, I think it was Boom in the chat, who said that most of the bases from HT Family were actually ESL Mobile Open bases. So let's see, maybe Queen Walkers knows them. But either way, we now have Queen Walkers attacking after the defense which they just had. And we already talked about as well about the pressure. Some teams are doing really good under pressure, and they need that pressure to somehow work. So let's see after that first 3-star if Queen Walkers are doing exactly that, or if they're going to fall under the pressure against HT Family in this matchup, Judo.
I don't think the Queen Walkers are the type of team that fall too often to pressure. We've definitely seen it. I know last year in the World Championships, we had a huge matchup from, I think it might have been against INTZ, was it, where Utah 14 needed that 3-star, and he did it on that occasion. But I do recall there was a different event, a different qualifier where he actually, ended up losing out and failing on it. So pressure definitely does hit them, but I feel they've been a little bit more consistent moving into this year. So they've been in that top position. They've been in a World Championship final. They live and breathe pressure, I feel.
Yeah, that's for sure. Another thing is obviously in Legends, like when you're in for so many attacks, this is some sort of pressure as well. I feel like especially like some sort of pressure on your mindset, being able to maybe then even come back from a start which is not working out perfectly. And we have ISK working yet again with the same base which you already ran yesterday, the Yo-Yo Legend base against Stadra. So let's see if he can show us how exactly to beat that base with the P.E.K.K.A smash. He's bringing this 1 golem and 2 P.E.K.K.A overall. And, well, this is going to be interesting setup. He has the blimp right now for the Town Hall. And then he's going to just keep jumping through the core of this base.
Yeah, really interesting to see the exact same layout. Like you said, I know it defended yesterday, but going up against the Queen Walkers using a base like this is questionable. Let's just put it that way. But either way, I feel like what you mentioned in terms of pressure is elevated to the fact that a lot of Queen Walkers players actually stream their Legend League attacks as well. So when you have other people watching you, it certainly adds even more to it. And we've had a very nice Grand Warden Walkitsu from that top right-hand side, the most northern compartment, taking that out with the King diving into the right-hand side, aiming to push the P.E.K.K.A straight through this compartment, through the middle, but only 1 jump spell.
Yeah, but this so far already is looking really good. The healers are properly following. The King already taking on the defending King and now is engaging onto the Eagle to take that out. He still has now the Yetis coming off the Siege Barracks. An interesting decision to bring the Yetis inside there and not maybe Hawk Riders or something like that. But still, it's looking pretty convincing with this P.E.K.K.A in the core, tanking everything, being able to get through the next wall, opening actually a wall where the Queen can reach the next building as well. Those Yetis are now coming in at the bottom side as well. There's another race to get through the next wall. The Royal Champion is playing with some skeletons at the top. But Judo, this attack so far is looking perfect execution-wise. And this backhand tester farm, which yesterday cost Tompinai on this base, this time around is making no difference whatsoever.
It does not stand a chance. Look at what Stadra has left over. Multiple troops, the Queen ability, and spells. He has annihilated this base. And what a perfect example for anybody that uses the P.E.K.K.A smash attack in Legends League. If you do come up against Yo-Yo's base, you know exactly what to do. Maybe he had the Yetis as a bit of a fail-safe for the Town Hall, or maybe that's actually the standard army that he actually takes in Legends League and felt he would just use it anyway.
Yeah, that's the classic move, like just bringing the default army composition, no matter on how many or through how many walls you need to get, like always the default wall breaker amount and everything, which is kind of funny. But I mean, it worked perfectly. It was a crazy overkill for Stadra, and this means both teams are starting off strong with 3 stars, exactly what we expected of those two teams. And so far, no defenses are seen. Let's see how this is going to keep going in this matchup, because we were predicting maybe some lower scores. But I mean, so far, both teams are starting off strong and are maybe showing us really another high-starring match against each other.
Yeah, maybe that 13-star magic number is going to be upped today, particularly after the war we just seen with alternate attacks and MCES. I mean, MCES did get the 13 stars with only a 99 and a 98% missing out, and they were nowhere near alternate attacks. So today, the bar certainly has been raised. The team's trying to get as many points as they can in week 1, meaning that as they move into week 2 and 3, they can hopefully keep their standing within the top 4 teams. Interestingly here, Itsu, we have fire with the Super Witches, a strategy that we do see from time to time. And this base looks relatively similar to the, well, did we see Queen Walkers use this previously? I think we seen this yesterday, right? You're very good with your base analysis. You would know.
Yeah, but to be honest, I can't remember they are running this base, to be honest. I mean, it has the classic setup of like those diamond-shaped bases with nowadays the single throne tower right behind the town hall, which makes it really annoying to charge. So I don't know if the entry right now is how we planned it, that the queen is actually walking inside. He's going to wall break the queen into the next compartment, but the problem right now is this queen cannot reach that defending single throne tower, and this makes it really annoying for the queen. She's now trying to run outside of the range of the single throne tower, engaging onto the enemy queen. But now the question is, how is the path looking like? Like, where are the super witches going? Because so far it does not look like everything was planned like this. The queen is running completely different to what you expected, and I feel like the plan originally was to double layer into the scatter, but this right now is not looking like it's going as planned.
Oh, it's definitely not going as planned, is it? As you see, the Super Witch is caught on that side of the base with no real way to get back across to that jump spell, to the single target Inferno and the multi. And even if they did, that's a really tricky area for them to enter now, based on the fact that he doesn't have the Archer Queen supporting to help shoot over walls, so that single target looks very dangerous. He does have the Battle Blimp, and the Royal Champion decides to send them both in towards the southern area of the base to reroute the Witches through the center. But like you said, Itsu, I think the original plan was just to have the Super Witches move into that middle compartment as well.
Yeah, with the queen walking wrong, and this is like something which is happening quite frequently after the one of the last updates, where the queen now is less likely, she's behaving different around those open wall compartments. And this time around, she went inside and completely messed up the plan. I feel like this blimp was designed, actually we can see the sneaky goblins, was designed to take down the town hall. It was never the plan for him to charge into the town hall compartment. Instead, he wanted to have this this entry into the scatter compartment on the 9 o'clock side. Everything went different than planned, and it's really hard to like try to save this, especially because like, how do you use a blimp which is designed to get the town? Like, how do you use a blimp successfully with sneaky goblins? Like, there's not much you can do to save this then around. And yeah, just maybe the funneling wasn't quick enough or something, but this is going to be 86% 2-star. And this is already looking like a strong defense for Queen Walkers. And now it's up to them again to push their lead, because so far it's looking great for them defense-wise. But obviously, they need to show this now on offense that they're getting in the next 3-star as well.
I certainly do, and I feel the attack we seen by Stadra with the Yetis, maybe that's one of the reasons he chose that, because it is a little bit more flexible. Unless you absolutely know that the sneaky goblins are going for that town hall and you are going to be using it there, such as when you see the battle blimp used before anything else, then maybe the Yetis are just a little bit more flexible and do allow you to at least get some value later on in the raid. But either way, like you said, that is a big defense. It is below the average that we've tended to see. So Queen Walkers will be looking at this now as to taking the war into their own hands. And it is Gaku with the Queen Charge Lavaloon.
Yeah, and it's interesting. He switched away from the Queen Charge Dragon Riders, at least for now, using the Queen Charge Lalo against this base. And we have the Queen starting off strong, maybe going around the corner. He has 4 wall breaks, so he wants to get really far into this base. He has yet again the Single Inferno Tower, which is always close by towards the Town Hall to just try to make those Queen Charges a little bit more expensive. So you have to force your attacker, like you have to force the attacker on using some more spells overall. There's the first Black Mine getting triggered, the Test Tower popping up as well. So we took already down the majority. I think all of the Tests are actually, yep, all of the Tests are down by this, which is always a nice thing because they really can mess up the pathing of this Lalo. Now he's charging in, but already 1 minute gone without even looting out the clan castle. So this attack needs to be quick to make sure that this base is falling overall.
Certainly does, because like you said, he still has a lot to go in this charge, doesn't he? Town Hall does indeed fall, and he's going to continue getting this area, but with multiple wall breaks. Is he busting the king into that northern compartment with the multi? Do you think there is the king in order to deploy there? That will hopefully help the wall breakers redirect towards this multi-target Inferno, but Queen under heavy fire now, having to freeze and rage her up. There is the wall break, which will give her access to the central area and the clan castle pull, but like you said, Itsu, look at the time. There's only 1 minute 20 remaining, and he still needs the Queen to get into the middle.
Yeah, and it's only at like rough 40% of the base. Like, this attack needs to be super quick. He's going to enter most likely at the bottom side of this base, but the Queen is struggling in that core versus all of the defending super minions. The defending Queen now is engaging as well. The Lalo has just started, but I mean, the Queen now is even dying. And this is going to be a tricky thing to come back from. The Slammer is getting sent in as well. 50 seconds. Yeah, Lalo can be quite quick. But at the same time, it's still like quite a bit still standing, especially with this defending Queen surviving. There are some more loons on the back end. And can he somehow make this work maybe in 35 seconds with, yeah, quite a big portion of the space still standing. The eagle shots from the other side taking down the majority of the loons, and there are so many air skeletons engaging now on this owl.
Yeah, what is in that Stone Slammer was my question. There is an Inferno Dragon, which could have helped to take the Queen down. Still got a couple of troops, which he could deploy to help speed this up. Gaku, seemingly feeling confident here, sends in the sneaky goblins. Everything converges to the clan castle, and he does get it. Time, not often a factor with Gaku. He did get a 3-star in 1 minute 16, I think it was, not too long ago. That one with the extensive Queen charge certainly coming to the wire, but just showing how in control of his troops he is.
Yeah, Queen Charge Lalo is just so quick. Just with a couple of spares, your Lalo is going to be super quick through the base. Especially he had a couple of rages left, which he could use for his Lalo. And this was just truly impressive, how he was able to save this. I mean, after the Queen being dead, we all thought, okay, this is now going to be a tricky situation for him, especially with so little amount of time left. But he made things look so easy, even though the Eagle took down the majority of those loons. The Slammer coming in super clutch to save the day, and getting Queen Walkers another 3-star on the board. And this now is looking like the normal Queen Walkers. They're so strong right now. The HG family really need to concentrate now. Really need to do the same thing which Alton had to do in the first match yesterday. Need to concentrate and need to keep 3-starring. And yeah, somehow getting back into the match.
They certainly do, because Queen Walkers, they are just like what we've seen with alternate attacks. You give them an inch, they will take a mile. Jinmu with the Super P.E.K.K.A. Smash, and he is someone that uses this quite a lot. Oh, the Super Wall Breaker just got access down the bottom there. The Tesla indeed did pop it, but thankfully the wall is obviously that close to the outside. He was able to get it anyway. So disaster averted, and so far, everything looking pretty good for this funnel.
Yeah, now we have the log launcher yet again getting through that core. The logs are taking down the skeleton trap. It's always looking so cool when those logs are taking down those defending clan cast troops, for example. They should yet again, like those logs are now taking on those defending headhunters and goblins. There is the warden ability, and this is looking really strong, Judo.
Certainly is. I've got my eyes on the left-hand side there, though. The P.E.K.K.A. Oh, the Super Wizards, thankfully, just chained through a bunch of buildings. And the P.E.K.K.A. will be diverted to the left-hand side a touch. Hopefully the Queen can step back here, remain where she is standing as she does. Perfect job by the Queen to beeline across to the Town Hall. Now, it does not necessarily matter that the P.E.K.K.A. went across to that side of the base. And only now deploying the Royal Champion. What? This is incredible.
Yeah, but the Queen went down. It's incredible, but the Queen went down in her ability. Still at the same time, there is a huge army going strong at the top side with 1 minute 20 left. This is looking like a huge overkill. One jump, one freeze left, using the Royal Champion to get the back end. The Royal Champion ability should be able to take down the last couple of cannons with ease. There's the Royal Champion ability, taking down some more buildings. The cannons are going down as well. Wow. And he has the swag jump. Does not even need it. And this attack was beautiful. This lock launcher charge, or like this launcher push with all of those P.E.K.K.A. was beautiful.
It certainly was. I think you're right, Itsu. He wanted to jump the Queen across to that right-hand side compartment, but quickly sent the Royal Champion in to deal with that. Such a powerful attack, showing the strength of the P.E.K.K.A. Smash. I know you always mention it as a strong ground attack and being right up there as one of the best attack strategies in the game. Showing that with the log launcher, it might be a little bit of a risk, but if you can set that pathing for them to move through the base, it is extremely powerful.
Yeah, it is crazy strong. I think it's still like one of the strongest attack strategies even in the game. But there are not a lot of players who are concentrating on this attack strategy, except Stardor, for example. I mean, Stardor is still like pretty much using this attack strategy every single attack, every single match, and he's super successful with that. And this makes it really tricky for the defending base builders, because on every single attack strategy you have to place your traps differently, right? So you, for example, against P.E.K.K.A. Smash, you need to make sure you're getting rid of those healers. If those healers are surviving and they're going onto the P.E.K.K.A., they're pretty much unkillable. Like, they're invincible, staying alive forever. But if you can take care of, or like, if you can somehow take down those healers, then you can obviously defend, which means Black Might into the core is the way to go. But at the same time, if there's a Queen Charge Dragon Rider attack and you're having your Black Mites inside the core of the base, so there's the Warden ability popping up, those Dragon Riders will have a great day because they're blocking all of this damage. So it's really tricky to place your traps against all of this, especially if a team is playing all of those strategies. So really strong from both sides so far with those P.E.K.K.A. Smash attack strategies. And let's see what is going to happen next, which strategy is coming in next, because we have Queen Walkers in next. And typically now, Stars or Clouds should be the next to attack. So looking forward to that.
It is indeed Stars, and he is taking bats with his Lavaloon, the Lalo Bat. Something that we don't see too often. Whenever we do see the bat spells, it does tend to be with the dragons nowadays. I can't actually remember the last time I seen a Lalo Bat in competitive play, so interested to see how Stars will begin here. And I'm not as good as you at recognizing bases, but I almost think that we seen this base yesterday when MCES, was it, took out... No, it couldn't have been MCES, but maybe Tomp and I took out that top area in terms of the bomb tower and the wizard tower and charged the queen. But maybe I'm just seeing bases wrong today. What do you think, Itsu?
It could definitely be the case that they are rerunning this base. I mean, they used the base as well, which defended yesterday with like this yo-yo setup. So it could be definitely the case that they're rerunning this base as well. But Star Wars is coming in, looting out the clan castle, a nice cheap limb for their town hall. And now he's taking down this defending hound, breaking his queen inside for the defending queen maybe already. He has a jump spell as well, so I guess the king in next, or what is he going to do? Like we said yesterday, with Stars or Queen Walkers overall, it's really hard to predict what they're going to do next. And right now, it seems like they're going to try to get this push into the core, into the sweepers, into the double set of multi-inferno towers. And this is looking crazy value-wise if he can pull this off.
It certainly is, because he's got the enemy queen. Oh, where's the attacking queen going? No, he sent the wizard in and the baby dragon quickly to try and redirect her. Wow, I thought she was gone. I thought she was history, but thankfully he got those troops in the nick of time to send the queen back around. He wants that second multi-target inferno. He's got the first with the king. The royal champion is going to get the eagle, still has the ability as well in order to get an air defense and the wizard tower here. Royal champion has been huge, but can the queen get that multi?
Yeah, that's the big question. Where? Yeah, did he place the warden yet? No, he just placed the warden. And what is he going to do next? He has for the back end scatter shot. He has those bats, but those dudes are backtracking, and this now is going to be a little bit like a painful thing for the second scatter shot. The last scatter shot is going down, 40 seconds left, and he's just keep freezing. And Judo, this yet again is looking so good for Stars.
Why did HT family not try and defend this like you said it to? I mean, what did we just see? How do you come up with this type of stuff? I am mind-blown as to what we have just witnessed from the Queen Walkers. That was so incredible. Such precision for every single compartment. It seems like he decided, this compartment I will send this set of troops, this compartment I will send this set of troops. It wasn't like he created pathing and then swooped around the entire base. He had something for every individual compartment. That was amazing.
Yeah, especially like knowing the limits of your troops, like knowing, okay, the Royal Champion can take down this without any problems, then King and Queen getting jumped into the core of the base, like, of course, without like a Queen Charge or something, that's completely casual for Stars. So really impressive attack right there, and the Queen Walkers are keep pushing, keep going strong, and showing off why they deserve to be in this semi-final. But HD family now, they really need to keep pushing their comeback possibilities, because they are now going in with another attack, and they are coming in with the Queen George Lalo from ISK. So let's see if we can make that work. King and Queen, did the King go the wrong way? That's the big question, because typically you do not have the King and the Queen getting sent into the same compartment. Wait, he's doing a Royal Champion charge?
Oh. The Ice Golem went the wrong way. But yeah, it seems he is jumping the Royal Champion because, presumably due to the storages that are in that area, he's got 3 invisibility. Does he? He is. He's got the Headhunters moving in for the Archer Queen. He wants to push on past this, but the Royal Champion is struggling in this area. The ability will go off here. Are the Headhunters down? Oh, the Barbarian King is on that Royal Champion, and this is troublesome now for ISK. Oh, she's down.
Oh no. Royal Champion going down. I don't know if that was worth it. I mean, the idea was super cool, but it feels like this defending king was somehow meant to go down with something, which we did not see. But this one blimp triggering so many traps. Can he still make that work? Yes, 3 invisibility spells. How is he going to use them? I feel like the Royal Champion was supposed to stay alive for way longer. And now he needs to make those work. It's really tricky to place them, but he's making that perfectly. And there's not too much left. There's 1 invisibility spell which he can still use. And there's still so many loons left, Judah. What is going on?
I can't stop laughing. What are we even watching in this matchup? HD family and the Queen Walkers putting on a creative masterclass for you. Whether the Royal Champion got enough value or not down the bottom of the base, the battle blimp into the center was huge to redirect the balloons around. And like you said, invisibility must have been planned for the Royal Champion, but to use them on the balloons, not turning the defenses invisible, was such a huge play. The thing here, Itsu, is there are a lot of buildings. He's still got 40 seconds. But a lot of high HP storages, and so far he doesn't have a very good balloon split.
Yeah, all of those loons are clumped together, and there are so many storages at the bottom side still. Can those minions make it work, though? It seems like so far it's going pretty quick for them. There's 1 minion on the right, a couple of minions on the core storages, so this looks still good. I think he's still good on time. How is the storage looking? It's still full HP, but to be honest, with like 16 seconds left, he should be easily able to take that out. And this means this is going to be a 3. So to be honest, this one deserves to... Oh, wait, skeletons, why are you trolling? This was a small heart attack at the end, but still, like, this attack deserves to be a 3-star for sure. Like that, at the beginning, I was like, wait, why is he sending in the king and the queen into the town? This makes no sense for a queen charge. Then he was like sending everything into the royal champion with those healers. I was like, what is going on? What is going on in this attack? So crazy attacks already, and both teams are just not stopping with their creativity.
Absolutely phenomenal play. And we have Klaus up next, presumably because Utah 14 does tend to attack last for the Queen Walkers. So I don't think we are going to be slowing down in terms of this either. What an incredible matchup we have here in Clash Masters. Remember, this is just the first week. The teams are battling for prize money in terms of this week individually, but also points to qualify into the playoffs, which is where the big prize money comes in, as well as the potential silver ticket into the World Finals, which so far HT Family do not have any ticket.
Yeah, that's right. Like, if someone is getting the silver ticket, which has, for example, a golden ticket already, for example, then it would get handed down to the next possible team, for example. So that is how those things are going to work. But now we have Klaus coming in with a queen charge. I mean, I don't want to say a queen charge louder because I have no clue yet if it's actually going to be a queen charge or a royal champion charge. After that last attack, I'm never going to be sure yet again. Like, how should I know? But so far, it looks like a queen charge to me.
It certainly looks that way, and maybe, you know, Klaus took a bit of a risk yesterday with his invisibility spells for the queen. Really came off to be a close attack, so maybe he just wants to play it a little bit safer today and get his mojo back for the finals. Looking at alternate attacks, obviously making it there, and it is going to be the queen charge as he does now deploy the healers. Queen about to get that multi, so doesn't really have to invest too much more, but the royal champion has helped to take out that right hand side with the barbarian king in the center almost getting towards that multi-target inferno.
Yeah, that would be crazy to take down the core of this base with just a funnel king, pretty much. So, yeah, the eagle shots are hammering away on that queen, but at the same time, the ice golems are distracting quite a bit. And the healers are frozen, so this might be now a bit problematic. Yet again, the healers are frozen. Now the eagle shots are coming in. Does he need to use the queen ability? No, his queen is staying alive for now, and he can keep wall breaking her. Wait, no, there are no wall breakers left. What is going to be the plan? No, there we go. Yeah, I was just missing that wall breaker, yeah.
Yeah, he just used one to get into that compartment and uses the slammer for the central area. Really good play that in order to make sure that goes down. Interesting to use the slammer. I guess he feels more confident doing that rather than directing the blimp over that area. But as the Archer Queen moves into the Town Hall, once that goes down, it doesn't look too bad because he's got a stack of spells and still some balloons left over for this back-end scatter shot.
Yeah, but he really needs to make sure that this backhand scatter is somehow dropping as quick as possible. He's delaying some loons in combination with the rage to take that down. And now we have the freeze for the backhand air defenses. This is yet again looking incredible. Really nice queen charge for his for the value for his queen, and then getting this back and Lalo easily done. As you said, nice slammer for the core. And yeah, Klaus getting it done for the next 3-star for Queen Walkers, and so far Queen Walkers are looking strong as well. And this would be an epic final, to be honest. Queen Walkers against Alternate. That would be crazy to see. But now first we have HT Family still having maybe a chance of coming back if they keep 3-starring, and if Queen Walkers is slipping up only once.
Yeah, they did only have that one slip up so far, HT Family. So, you know, it's certainly not out of reach yet. We're kind of in the same position that MCES were in the last matchup, though, where HT Family now need to 3-star both of their remaining attacks and have Queen Walkers fail, and it would have to be below an 82% 2-star. So that is the situation if HT Family were going to win this one. Moving into their 4th attack, it's definitely adding pressure. Fifth attack.
Yeah, that's for sure. Like, pressure is always something which is really, like, which you have to keep in mind. Like, most of the players out there think, that's a bad attack, that's a bad attack. But like when they have to do the deciding attack in their own clan war, this is a huge difference. And we have now the next attack coming in with I See You. And this is a Queen Charge Hog Rider attack. We have seen one yesterday from Tompen Empire. And that was their only 3-star back then. And it was an overkill, like a true big overkill. So we're looking forward to see now this attack, but so far it's not looking like the Single Inferno Tower is going down, or what do you... Oh! The last Yeti is jumping into the Single Inferno Tower and it's going down last second, but the Queen already lost her ability. What was going on over there?
Oh, I was watching the single target Inferno as well, I'm afraid, so I didn't quite see what happened across on that right-hand area. Either way, Scattershot is firing down. Oh, and the healers have indeed switched across to the King, which is less than ideal. They're going to get in range of that air defense, which they now are. So they are taking big damage. He's got to use the freeze and hope that the King goes down here relatively soon to get the healers switching back across.
Yeah, at this point, you would love to have like a spell or something which is telling your healers to switch back to your Queen. Like, at this point, you can't do anything pretty much because... Even the King Invisible, they can get still healed, right?
Yeah.
So this is not making any difference for them. But it needs to make them invisible, as you said, to make sure that they're not taking any more damage. There's now even a heal spell invested to save those healers because he really wants to take down the tower. Oh no! He's starting off the hog rider from the other side of the base. This is a crazy move right there. And why is the Yak getting healed? I thought the pets were not like. Pets were not supposed to get healed by healers, right?
Well, the Yak might actually end up getting that multi-target Inferno, which is not the worst thing, but the Archer Queen, like you said, down towards the Town Hall, no ability, is going to be tricky, so he's going to have to use the spells, decides to commit a Rage alongside the balloons to try and get any type of damage onto that Town Hall. Hog Riders very much struggling to the left-hand side, though. They are slowly getting through, and he still has the Royal Champion ability here, Itsu. No way. Is he going to be able to do this?
This would be so crazy. He got trolled so much in the beginning from his healers, and he says the Royal Champion ability, as you just said, but the time is ticking as well, but he has so much cleanup everywhere. Next wall break, where is it going to go? Royal Champion ability, can he make this? He has 25 seconds left. I think Judo. Queen Charge Hog Riders are OP. Like, how did he make this? He used the heal spell for his healers. He raged 2 loons to get the Town Hall. What is going on?
He did a Yak charge to the center of the base. I mean, I literally do not know what to say. This war is incredible. And the attacks are flying in that quick that I was thinking back to the MCES war, thinking that HT family had multiple attacks left. That's how quick this war has gone. That is their final attack. They've done all they can. And, well, a 14-star war versus the Queen Walkers. That is amazing. So right now, Utah 14. 2-star, 86%. I believe it was 86% is the requirement in order, or higher than that, in order to win.
Yeah, but I wanted to highlight one more time this tag, like how he saved that. Like, if things like Queen Charge Hog Riders, if everything is going right and you 3-star is already quite impressive, I would say, with like this off-meta strategy. But everything went wrong. Like, the Queen got lured into the base. He had the healer switching over to the Yak instead of to the Queen. Like, everything went wrong, and he still was able to save this. This was truly impressive. To me right there, but as you said, Utah is coming in next. We know it's going to be a Queen Charge. Let's see what the follow-up is going to be. Either Lalo or Dragon Riders, one of those two most likely. But looking forward to see the Queen Charge Master at work and see how exactly he's going to do that.
It's still a big ask, isn't it, for HT family, but it's Queen Charge Dragon Riders. Can Queen Walkers get that perfect war, put themselves on par with alternate attacks in towards the final? Either way, they just need to concentrate on the win. It's still a pretty big percentage in terms of that 86. If something were to go wrong with his Queen Charge, it's sometimes tricky to get that. So really, Yuta needs to make sure that nothing goes wrong early on with this charge.
Yeah, and we have the charge into that scatter compartment, then the classic charge into the town hall. But still, he has to worry about this multi-inferno tower if his queen is getting lured too far next to the wall over there. But so far it's looking pretty convincing, like the double beta hut should lure his queen into all of that. And now he's going to send in his king towards the top side. The entry itself, to be honest, looks, I think, quite obvious, as we had yesterday something similar, which was completely baited. So let's see if this one is going to be baited as well, the queen charge itself. There's the poison, there's the freeze. So far it's looking really strong. He has one more wall break, which he can use. But the wall break is... The wall is open. The wall is open, and the wall break is going completely different than what he expected. And the connection is not open. It opened, and now this queen might go completely different than what he expected, especially with his topside compartment open. This is some sneaky base bidding right there, with having this one wall missing behind the arch tower surrounding the town hall over there.
I thought it was connecting. I will be 100% honest. I could not believe that happened, but that is incredible because it really has scuppered Yuta 14's plans. He's having to send the Dragon Riders in towards that area. 86% 2-star. Obviously, he needs the Town Hall, but the Dragon Riders, or especially a couple of them, could take huge damage here, Itsu, because of the poison from the Giga Bomb. There's the Tornado Trap as well. Oh, this is looking very scary right now for Yuta 14.
Yeah, but so far a lot of black mines at the top side, so this can still work, because as long as those black mines are not hitting those Dragon Riders, he is still looking okay, especially now with the Royal Champion. And he did something really smart. He delayed a couple of Dragon Riders because he does not want to have them grouping up and, like, as you said, taking a lot of damage from that Town of Poison. And he's doing exactly that, as you said as well. 86% was the percentage of HT family, and he's about to cross that percentage. And this should be the win already for Queen Walkers at this point. The question still is, can he still triple? And it looks like a yes.
It certainly does, but with 10 seconds to go, hurry it up, get to that storage. Queen moving through. Minions will help to take down those other buildings. Queen on the storage. It is going to be the 3 stars and the perfect war for the Queen Walkers, setting up the most impressive final for the first week of the first ever Clash Masters. We have a repeat of last year's World Championship final. Alternate Attacks and the Queen Walkers. And to top it off, they both got perfect wars in their semi-finals. What an incredible final we have, Itsu.
Yeah, those summer finals already itself were crazy. Like yesterday, we were talking about pretty low score wars, like 11 to 12. And today, both teams, both finalist teams, are going all out, like both perfect wars. This is going to be incredible to see alternate facing off against Queen Walkers. But before we're taking a look at that, obviously we have the 3rd seed match, which is going to be in between of HT family facing off against MCES. They scored 13 and 14 stars, so I think this should be an incredible match as well to watch. So I cannot wait for that to happen. Like it's going to be some crazy 2 matches, and looking forward to see who is going to win those 2.
Absolutely. I think they're very difficult to predict. Either way, the rankings are going to be starting to shape up in terms of this first week and how many points the teams will gain. I feel like in terms of the 4 teams remaining from week 1, HT Family are the team that has the most to gain here because they do not have a ticket into the World Finals, whereas obviously Alternate Attacks, MCES, and the Queen Walkers have some level of ticket. So HT Family with a little bit more on the line, I would say, and really will be hoping to get that 3rd place win so that they get a few extra points towards qualifying to the playoffs.
Yeah, that's right. So now let's take another look at the bracket. Let's exactly take a look what we are about to see. So we just saw the 2 semifinal matches with Alternate versus MCS and HT Family versus Queen Walkers. And this means we have the set 2 next matches, final and 3rd place matches. Both best of 1. This is important to note. MCES is going to face off against HD Family next. This is like the next match which is coming up. And then we have Alternate versus Queen Walkers as our big final. And this is going to be some crazy cool matches to watch, Judo.
I mean, just think about the teams that we have here for the first week of this tournament. It's the first time it's ran, and this is a dream of a final. It's exactly what you would want to see in terms of the teams. Like I said, a repeat of last year's World Championship finals. But first, that matchup between HT Family and MCES, I think is going to be interesting because we talked about the stars that have been put up from HT Family. Whilst they have put up some high-scoring wars, they've also put up some lower scoring wars as well, but firing through the Queen Walkers to 14 stars is very impressive. But I really feel it's going to come down to their bases again. Will they be running similar bases to what they have been? Because that then might give MCES the advantage. I mean, MCES got 13 stars against Alternate, and we hadn't necessarily seen Alternate running bases again and again.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how those teams are approaching the base problem, or like the base discussion, kind of like. Because I've seen now multiple times in the chat as well that HG Family is running a couple of other teams' bases. So this means maybe we have MCS knowing those bases because they played in the ESM Mobile Open, and it seems like so far those were like, this was the tournament where most of the HG Family bases were coming from. So maybe this is already an advantage for MCS, and HG Family have to be careful which bases they are running against them, because well, being able to have a first couple of tries and friendly challenges against those bases is always something helpful, I would argue, in those matches. So this is something to keep in mind as well when going into the third seed match overall. But yeah, I think we should now jump into a small break and then come back strong with the HT Family and MCS third seed match. And this is going to be crazy. So don't go far away, because we are going to be right back with the next match.
Welcome back to Clash Masters. We have our third place matchup just about to begin. It is going to be MCES versus HT Family.
Yeah, that one is going to be a super cool match, especially seeing that, somehow the defensive powerhouse of HT Family was not able to somehow defend against Queen Walkers. So really looking forward to see if that was just Queen Walkers being incredible strong, or maybe the bases today are not that strong and MCS is going to do the exact same thing to their bases. But this is something which we have to look out for and, see how MCS is going to do against this team.
Yeah, it's certainly not an easy feat, is it, going up against MCES, fresh out of their ESL Mobile Open win. And, you can put up bases against Queen Walkers, alternate MCES. Putting all of those teams into the mix, they are very much at that top level. So I do feel like HT Family are going to have some defenses here if they want to win this matchup, because MCES are going to be coming at them hot.
Yeah, that's for sure, especially just the different approaches which they had. Going to be interesting to see what they're coming in with and what type of strategies. So far, I think today, the strategy with the biggest or with the highest success rate, I feel like, was definitely Lalo. The different Lalo variations which we have seen with Queen Charges, with Blizzard, with Lightning Spurts, all of those things were really successful today and really impressive to watch. Even if the entry was going wrong, we saw still 3 stars all over the place. The one craziest which still happened, which was not Lalo, but still the one Hawk Rider attack, which we have just seen, that was, that was a true turn of events, I would say, because I was concerned about the 1 star, and he was already going all in for the 3 stars. So that was a crazy thing to watch right there.
Yeah, I feel he needed to go all in for the 3 in order to keep their hopes alive, but to do it so convincingly, I'm just going to say, Itsu, I thought that was the biggest save to an attack that I've ever seen. To have so many things going wrong with such a difficult attack to rescue as well. Like you said, Hog Riders, they're not in the meta. The way that he did that was incredible. And one thing I do want to point out about HT Family is they came in with a number of different attack strategies. We've seen the Dragon Mix, the P.E.K.K.A. Smash, the Hog Riders, just a lot of diverse attack strategies and things that are a little bit off meta as well. So maybe that is something that could work out in their favor for this matchup offensively.
Yeah, I feel like they have kind of their own meta right there. Obviously using a couple of meta strategies, but as well bringing and mixing in the Queen Charge Hawk Rider, which is not that common as we just mentioned. But now I think let's get started with the first attack. We have HT Family starting off this match with, yet again, another air attack strategy. It seems like they're having their attack order strategy based, starting with air and then following up maybe later on with some P.E.K.K.A. Smash. But now we have the Inferno Dragons getting placed, Loons are getting placed, Dragon Riders are getting placed, and now the party can begin.
It seems to always dive in with this type of attack first, don't they? Just getting that E-Drag to funnel the King and Queen on the opposite side, and that good mix of dragons moving through. I'm still interested to know exactly why they have different mixes, because sometimes we even see regular dragons in here. I'd love to know the actual specifics for the base that make them determine whether they take X amount of dragons per se, but either way, with the Battle Blimp moving through, I really like that heal spell, actually, because sometimes when the Inferno Dragons get to the middle of the base, they can start to go down, but it's not really in an area they're taking much splash. The Battle Blimp is inside the Tornado, but should be able to make it across towards that Town Hall, Itsu.
Yeah, the Sweeper is pushing it into that direction, and with that Dragon, it should be easy being able to take that down. As long as the Inferno Tower is dropping as well, this is still looking good for him, because the Royal Champion is jumping over and, supporting the back end Inferno Dragons. The Queen, meanwhile, doing her favorite thing to do, right? Beating that one wall. The Royal Champion is trying her best, and this might be a time thing right now with the Royal Champion. At the same time, if we take a look at the time overall, 1 minute 20 seconds. If the Queen keeps changing her mind with those targets, it might be a bit different. But at this point, I think time should be enough. Even the Royal Champion and the Warden are now going down.
Yeah, he's got the ability, and I mean, the queen's going for the right wall now in order to walk all of the way through. But if she had have just stuck to the initial wall, she could have gone to the outside and obviously walked right around. But since he had the queen up there, that's obviously why the queen redirected to the top. I think it's still going to work out fine for him with that queen ability. 3 stars for HT family, and this is how they started last time with this attack strategy as well. But as we keep mentioning, as we keep speculating, I feel like this war will be determined on the bases and the defenses.
Yeah, that's right. To be honest, while I was streaming it then again, I was expecting the queen to go for another wall, to be honest. Going around that wall at the end was pretty smart, which surprised me. But either way, he's getting in a 3-star no matter what. And now it's back to MCES. They had 13 stars in the last match against Alternate. HT family were going in with 14 stars against Greenwalkers. So let's see if that's any indication on how this match could go. But MCES typically are starting strong. And let's see if they can repeat that this match around as well. And starting with some nice 3 stars.
Yeah, MCES with the lower average stars, but a much higher average destruction, obviously only missing out on 3% overall, whereas HT family missed out on 14 essentially with that 86%. So it is going to be interesting coming down to the end of it, and I'm always keen to know what MCES move in with. Sometimes if they just see something that spikes their interest in a base, they can play some risky strategies as well. They're very creative, but sometimes some of the risks they take are very impressive. So I'm looking forward to see how they will be attacking and if they do recognize any of the HT family bases.
Yeah, maybe we're going to see like a Skelly Donut Mass Hog. We can still hope for that from Cinti. Let's see if it's going to be the case, if it's going to be happening or not. Remy O typically is, I think, one of the earlier attackers for MCES, so let's see if that's going to be the case. But we should have the attack starting any second. There we go. Cinti actually is going in first, and he is coming in with a dragon and a bat-based attack versus this base of HT family. Sending in the ram nice and early. Might get some problems against the defending clan castle if there are headhunters in there, but let's see how this ram is going to do.
Yeah, this is something MCES do like to do, is just sending in that wall wrecker for a little bit more security over the battle blimp. It takes a little bit longer, but it can punch through a couple of defenses en route, manages to get to that town hall, and the goblins will be able to take it out. They are there and nice and clear with the archer already pulling the lava hound across. So looks like that is where we're starting, but interestingly with the royal champion Itsu.
Yeah, the Royal Champion with taking down the defending clan castle. This means the king and the queen are planned on the other side of the base. At least the king so far is getting placed. The queen now is following as well into that compartment. A lot of people are really preferring to send their heroes into the E compartment to take that out, especially if there's like some really important heroes right behind, like the defending queen. And he's creating some nice pathing with this as well, dodging the sweepers completely as well. So this so far as an entry is looking really, really promising. So let's see if he can push it through. The Electro Dragon is getting some nice chains onto the air defense as well to make that a bit weaker. The Royal Champion is pushing now everything back into the core. And we can check out the back, and we have 1 Scatter and 1 Wizard Tower being up there. And there are the bats starting with that Rage together. And as we already mentioned, not a lot of splash on that back end.
Not a lot indeed, and he's managed to funnel the dragons phenomenally through to this area of the base, obviously with the Royal Champion supporting to that left-hand side. Dragons get to the final splash damage defense, which is that Wizard Tower, and now it means he has 2 freeze spells that he can use to prioritize the dragons. Bats obviously go down. Looks like he's freezing one of the Expo straight away to try and get that one down and give him a little bit more security, because I'm unsure as to the health of the dragons down the bottom. Looks like the one that is selected doesn't have a huge amount of health, or the one that's taking damage from the Archer Tower, sorry. Just unsure how much health the other ones have. There's the defending Royal Champion and 2 Expos. This could be tricky now, Itsu.
Yeah, this could be really tricky. I mean, the archers are nicely funneling everything in there onto the defending Royal Champion right away. Time is ticking as well. There's the freeze to defend against that Royal Champion. There's some air skeletons coming up as well. Now maybe we see those hit points. One of those dragons is really healthy still. As long as they're not a lot of black mines, I guess this should be good to go. But time is ticking as well. The Warden, the Owl are trying their best. Everything now is grouping up. But the NATO trap, it's not hitting the dragons though. 7 seconds. Oh, they got it. Easy. Never in doubt. All calculated.
Never doubt, Synthé. Wow. I mean, a little bit fortunate to the end, but like you said, Dragons nicely dodging the tornado trap in order to get across, assured that the 3-star. And what else did we expect for these final matches of the Clash Masters? 3-star after 3-star, and it's all tied up. Arguably, HT Family, that slightly faster attack in the opener.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, so far, none of those matches was coming down to time. So, yeah, let's see if this might be the first match, but I highly doubt it, especially with so many attacks still to go. We have HG Family attacking next. I think the last time they attacked with P.E.K.K.A Smash next, so let's see if that's going to be the case. Yeah. There we go, and it is. No, it's going to be air again. Dragons, Inferno Dragons, Dragon Riders, a lot of dragons overall, the baby dragons as well. So this is going to be an interesting army composition.
Couple of lightnings in order to take down the sweeper, so we can presume he's flying straight in towards the eagle with the blimp moving across. And yes, there it is, not messing around here. Itsu, king and queen into that northern or eastern compartment. Queen can get in towards the scatter, and the dragons can fly right of the way on through. Where is he going to send that royal champion, though? Does he send it up with his heroes at the top, or does he support the dragons down the bottom? Battle Blimp has a long way to fly here with the Grand Warden's ability protecting it. Clan Castle troops come out, and it looks like it is going to get there. It's always a bit risky sending it that far across the base, particularly when you deploy it early on with your dragons.
Yeah, it's always super risky with that possibility of the NATO trap catching the blimp, but right now it feels like most of those dragons are dropping kinda quickly. A couple of them are still in their core. Can they make it through? The Royal Champ is now getting deployed at the top side. The sweeper is pushing. There's now a small group of those dragons, Dragon Riders and Inferno Dragons grouping up, trying to take down the back end. And with the Royal Champion and her ability still not used, it's still looking good, Judo.
It certainly is. It would be helpful if he could get that single target Inferno down, wouldn't it? The Skellies were distracting it for a long time. He does have an expo for this Royal Champion as well, but like you said, he's still got a freeze. There goes the ability to start getting through these defenses. Expo goes down from it, and despite the Royal Champion being stuck in this area, she just needs to now get to these final defenses. Looks like with an Archer Tower remaining, all going to be time because, oh, the Dragon Rider survives. That could be huge now.
Yeah, for the cleanup and the time, it is for sure huge. And all of those troops are so low on hit points. It's such a close attack, but I think he can make that work with only 2% to go and 40 seconds left. This is going to be the next 3-star for HT Family in this match for the 3rd seed. And MCES, a lot of pressure is on them. HG Family are keep pushing their lead and making their, it's creating a lot of pressure for them to react to, and this is not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, it's really tough, isn't it? Is to, do you want to go first? Do you want to go second and respond to that pressure? I'm sure that teams differ in terms of their opinions, but what did you like to have when you were attacking Itsu, when you were in these situations? Did you prefer to go first, or did you always like to know what you were going up against?
It's hard. I'm not really sure what I like better. It always has some pros and cons, I would say. Maybe knowing what to expect is easier because yes, it can be a lot of pressure could be on you, yes, but at the same time you know what to expect, and if you fail, it's kind of on you and not like the other team then being better or something. So I guess going second maybe is better, but at the same time I'm not 100% sure, and I think every single team is different, in what they like better, how they handle those matches better. So I think this is up to every single team. If you would be in the situation, what would be your choice, going first or second?
I think for me, going second would be better, just to know coming down to that final attack, whether it's calculating of percentages and just having a little bit more security and being in control. Whereas if it's still a little bit up in the air and you just have to go all out for the 3-star, I think that would be different. But like I said, I've never been in that position that you have in terms of competitive Clash of Clans. So just interested to get your thoughts there. Either way, Kingsman, like you said, has to respond. He's not using the hybrid this time, but a similar strategy, shall we say, in terms of the Queen charge. It can then be translated very nicely into the Dragon Riders.
Yeah, he's using that, I would say, the Town of 14 version of hybrid, like the strategy which kind of started to, I don't know if I want to say replace it, but it's similar and is really, really strong at the moment. He's charging into that scatter compartment into the direction of the town. This is exactly what he's trying to go for, using the king now to get into that multi-throne tower compartment, then the jump later on into the tower compartment. And typically entries like this can be pretty easily baited. So let's see if we see more black mines hitting those healers on their way across this compartment. The clan castle should come out soon as well, I think.
Yep, there it goes. Engages right as you said, and it starts to split as well. Some of the troops going across to the king, but to be honest, that's not a bad thing because the super minions waste a shot there on just a few barbarians. So he's nicely controlling that. Archer Queen does have the healers inside that rage, so she's doing okay at the moment. Struggling to get onto the town hall though, and does press the ability to assure that it goes down, Itsu.
Yeah, town hall going down. The first key accomplishment is successful, and now we have the Dragon Rider starting at the top and even investing this one rage to speed things up, but he's not hitting all of them. Most of the Dragon Riders are actually split towards the outside. This one blimp is getting the multi-inferno tower off the way. A lot of air skeletons, and now a couple of black mines are hitting on that back end of the warden ability is running out. And well, with the Queen still going strong with an invisibility spell still for the Royal Champions, this is still looking really good, especially since 3 of the Dragon Riders are still alive, and this Queen charge just got way too much value over here. And Kingsman is showing how to use those Dragon Riders to perfection. Queen is still alive, invisibility spell is not even needed, and this is the answer. This is the next 3-star from MCES. And both teams are tying up again, and both teams are just not letting the pressure, down on the other team.
Convincing 3-star this one by Kingsman as well, wasn't it? I have to say, one of my favorite styles of the Queen Charge Dragon Riders is to force the Queen down an entire section, jumping her to the town hall, and then being able to have a plan for the middle compartments, obviously in that scenario the king and then the battle blimp for the middle, meaning the Dragon Riders have the other lane, if you will. I think it just looks so brilliant to pick apart the base like that. It's something that we are seeing kind of moving into the game, if you will, charging from the opposite side of the town hall, jumping all of the way through. I just think it looks really nice when it works out, and good job there to Kingsman.
Yeah, that's for sure. Like, if it's working out, it's always looking brilliant. How those pros are doing that, especially like how calculated it is, like knowing the limits of the heroes, of funneling and everything. And then this blimp towards the core, not only takes down the core buildings, but as well, I think what is key is typically the blimp is getting open kind of late, just so the blimp is flying across the traps and triggering all of them, and then at the end releasing all of those loons and maybe an Inferno Dragon or another Dragon Rider, which is a really strong push. Next base is coming in, Remy O. On the defensive side, and this is going to be another P.E.K.K.A smash from HG Family, yet again with the lock launcher. I have to say, looking forward to see this attack. This typically, like this approach on bases, on those diamond-shaped bases, is working really, really strong. It's quite risky, you have to say that, because the town hall is on the complete other side, and you're sending every single troop in there quite early, like with the king. The Royal Champion should be coming down then on the left side as well at some point to force everything inside. So it is quite risky, but it can be so powerful. Let's see on if he can actually execute it properly.
Yeah, well, we've seen a great example, didn't we, in that last one from HT Family. Town Hall, in that scenario, it wasn't necessarily as far across the base like you said, but I think the main thing for me is it's not necessarily the risk of attacking from the opposite side. It's exactly as you stated, Itsu. You've used everything. You use the log launcher, the Royal Champion helps with pathing. You don't really have any plan B for the Town Hall. It is literally all or nothing. But the Grand Warden has taken out a good chunk of that base on the right-hand side in order to try and set up that pathing. We get that stab in towards the base, and there's the log launcher as well to the back, trying to just roll all of the way through. King and Witches, relatively standard so far, and we'll probably see that Royal Champion as we get a little bit more tanking across to the west of the base.
Yeah, but I think the King went inside, which typically you do not want to have. Like, the King is supposed to go into the flanking compartment, but right now what this does is the Yak is opening all of those wrong walls, and the Warden ability already got used. So this right now is not looking good at all. He has the jump spell into the town direction, but he has used the Queen ability already. Now the question is, where is he sending in that Royal Champion? This push into the scatter compartment is just missing. Nothing is taking down the scatter. Now is he saying, okay, let's invest everything into that scatter, taking that down. But there is the Tesla farm, and this is not going to be an easy push for that Royal Champion. King, though, is walking into the town direction. This is maybe looking still pretty good.
Yeah, maybe work out. I mean, he did what he needed to do there. The Royal Champion on the left could have arguably been earlier when the King was over there tanking a little bit, but he just didn't want to risk sending in the Royal Champion if everything was going to go across to the left and not towards that Town Hall. Waited until they moved towards the jump. And like you said, it has indeed paid off because everything is converging towards the final buildings. Only just, mind, there's not a lot left, but it doesn't matter how much is left over. The 3-star is the 3-star, as we always say. And so far, perfect from these teams.
Yeah, especially, like, what I find really impressive was the time which he took for the Warden walk. I think he took like 1 minute and, I don't know, 20 or something, which is quite a big of like a time investment right there. Warden walking for so long. Like, just imagine with like Super Witches, you already would call the time fail at this point. So P.E.K.K.A. Smash is being kind of like quick strategy overall, and even though things went wrong, still an easy 3-star to pick things off, and really, really nicely done. Royal Champion to push everything back inside, as he saw all of the P.E.K.K.A. going inside the core compartment, which got opened by this lock launcher. So really nicely done. Now it's back to MCS and seeing what they're coming up with.
Absolutely. 3-3-stars from HT Family. I mentioned their inconsistency between different matches and days earlier on, but 14 stars, and then so far 3-star after 3-star. Amazing. But Remio, with multiple lightning spells, takes out what looks like 2 multi-target Infernos in the center of that base. And, I mean, whenever you can take out 2 multis, I'm presuming they're multis, you gotta say that's pretty good value.
Yeah, it is for sure. The question, though, is always, how do you follow those plans up? Like, it's not as easy as you might think. Like, okay, then it's obvious this is going to be the next move. No, instead, he's now sending in the heroes for the town, and then doing some fancy Lalo around the top side. He has Ice Hounds with him, which means if we take a look at that air defense placement, we see it's right next to the Scatter and the Defending Queen, and towards the Eagle. So really good freeze locations. And meanwhile, we have the Queen struggling with that Defending Clan cast. Is the Hound popping? Yes, it is. And this means the pups might be kind of like a problem, because there is no Baby Dragon in this army composition to take those out.
No, he's going to have to hope he can get them with a few minions, as you see deploying them now, distracting with the Stone Slammer, so he should be able to take those out. But certainly the pathing is going to be a little out of whack, shall we say, down towards the bottom of the base, but probably couldn't have expected his Queen to get much more than the Town Hall, given the investment he gave. We see the Ice Hounds. What incredible value down the bottom there, like you said it to, getting not just the Scatter, the air defense, the Queen, and the Grand Warden statue, so that the balloons can move on through. And he still has that Warden ability. He's just saving onto it for the moment.
Yeah, it feels
Wow.
like doesn't even need it. At this point, he's just going to use it, but there is such a big Loon Parade still coming in. Beautiful warding ability, and those ice sounds really paid off. Like, this value of those freezes was just incredible. He says the Valkyrie, I think was expecting some sort of like Goblin Clan Castle where he could use them. It was not really needed. The Dragon Rider is going down, but it did an amazing job of tanking. And now the Warden with the Owl, with the ton of loons, should easily finish off this base. He said we want loon for cleanup, but to be honest, with like 40 seconds roundabout left, he should easily get this. MCES, like, they're not letting go. Like, they keep pushing and following the HG family, which are also non-stop 3-starring. So this match is so far a really high-scoring match yet again. I feel like I don't know what happened overnight to those teams, but every single team so far is non-stop high scoring in those matches. Maybe yesterday was just a bad Clash day, we don't know, but today those scores are incredible high.
No clan letting up. 3 attacks, 3 stars for both HT family and MCES. Back in the court of HT family, you have to say, as the 3 stars keep coming in, that pressure does indeed build. You're on a bit of a momentum high, but at the same time, you know your opponent is doing that, and you're edging closer towards the end, which means any slip up is arguably harder to, you know, counteract and pull yourself back in the lead, Itsu.
Yeah, that's right, especially with like all of those attacks are flying in, as you said. Like, it is not as easy now. Mistakes at this point are going to be game changers. At the same time, successful defenses are as well. So let's see if there's going to be one team to mess up, and who might be the first team to be that candidate. But, well, HG family coming in next. Typically, they had some crazy attacks for the back end. The last time, I want to say Queen Charge Lalo, but it was actually a Royal Champion Lalo charge. Whatever it was, a creative attack. So let's see what they're coming up next. And this time around, we have yet again the army composition, but this time around with the Queen placement, though, it looks for now like a Queen charge. But, I mean, I'm not sure until the healers are deployed. There we go. Okay, now we can say this is going to be a Queen charge.
Yeah, I was going to say, particularly with the blimp flying across, you kind of questioning where he would be sending the Queen if it was a Royal Champion charge, but definitely caught us both for a loop on that first one, and so far, pretty standard in terms of getting that Town Hall, helping to try and create the pathing for his Queen, just popping off that Lava Hound nice and easy. I'm just intrigued as to where he's sending in the heroes here. Does he try and send the Queen right into that channel with the scatter shot and the multi? He could get huge value if he can path her into that region.
Yeah, there's a lot of high available defenses right there, like the Inferno Tower, the scatter shot, as you mentioned, and the defending Queen obviously as well. So let's see if that's going to be the case. The King is getting pushed back, and he is actually walking in like around the corner as planned. And now we have that Queen getting charged into that compartment, but the King is walking inside as well because the wall is open over there. Now the question is, how is that going to work out? Like, is the Queen actually walking inside this channel, as you said, or is the King, or is she just following the King? That's the big question right now, Judo.
I think she's going to go down to the cannon after this. She does. What is she going to do? She'll go to the Expo or the Sweeper. I don't think she's walking back across to that channel. So he's starting the Lalo to try and encourage that. Barbarian King getting a little bit of damage and annoying the Queen. But how quick can he get this Lalo moving as the Queen starts to step around? She's gone. She is definitely not moving into that central area. And it's now all about the Lalo. He's got plenty of spells, though, as they make it to the middle. The Tornado Trap could be huge here, though, because he still does have some splash damage defenses on the back end, which are dangerous.
Yeah, they're really dangerous, especially with this Queen not having access to her. At this point, some of the healers actually transition over to Lassie. The scatter shot is getting tanked for now by the Queen, which is great. But see, there's this Expo on the back end. There's the Wizard Tower on the back end. Baby Dragon is getting used. That Baby Dragon is genius. Tanking the air defense and now placing a couple of healers on there. Is this going to be enough with 28 seconds left? Or is this going to be the first defense? The Loons are taking those defenses out. The Queen is going for the next wall. 20 seconds are left. The minions are going in. There's no splash. But the bomb tower is not taking those minions, so maybe he can make that work. The owls splashing over with the chain. But the bitter huts need to be taken down. They're taking out the minions. It's 5 more seconds. The bomb tower is low. Can he make this to 1 second? And everything is going down. And HD Family is getting it done. Another 3-star on the board with a crazy finish right there. This was so close.
I don't think anybody expected that moving down to the end of it. It looked like he was just going to run short. The amount of attacks we have seen today come right down to the wire, some falling to the wrong side, some obviously, as in that case, getting the 3-star. But wow, HT Family can take a deep breath. Indeed, they get it done. Keeping that pressure on MCES. Is there going to be a clan that cracks? We have mentioned how difficult the perfect wars have been, but then today, Alternate get the second ever within the Clash Masters, then the Queen Walkers following. I mean, do we top that and have both of the clans? This is such an amazing matchup.
I mean, I don't know. The teams... I don't know why, but at least do you have the same feeling? I feel like other teams switch from, like the majority of teams switch from Dragon Riders to Lalo. I feel like we have seen so many Lalo attacks today, so maybe this is like somehow connected to this high hit rate. Lalo still being the king, maybe just putting this out there as a possibility, but both teams, yet again, another Lalo attack. So let's see if Lou can make this work with his push, using the king to walk around the corner, getting into that scatter compartment. The queen for that town hall is looking strong, but at the same time, having a Lalo after this is always indifferent and a complete difficult task to do. So let's see if he's getting that scatter first off, because so far the king is looking kind of shredded.
Yeah, King's going to go down pretty soon, and that's going to leave the Royal Champion vulnerable, particularly with all of the headhunters moving across a Tesla farm. He's not going to get that scatter shot. Royal Champion is down. Archer Queen gets the Town Hall, but she is gone as well. How big is not getting that scatter shot? That is the question. He will be able to send a couple of loons in there to try and help out, but how costly will that be with a hero dive? You know, it's so much more difficult than with the Lavaloon. Yes, you have a lot more in your arsenal, but when there's this amount of base to take down, it's still a big commitment to send balloons outside of your plan.
Yeah, that's for sure, but at the same time, the Slammer now has a great pathing into the core, so I think it's not the end of the world so far. I feel like this freeze on the right side was not planned at all. Like, it was misdrop, it seems like. The freeze onto the Single Firmament Tower, maybe while zooming. But we have now the Lalo starting in from the bottom side as well, trying to push everything through the core. There is the Rage. Is he going to drop the Skeleton spell? It is already in there as well, but the Mujam Firmament Tower is beaming those loons away. There is the NATO, there are some more air skeletons. And can this be the first defense of this match? So far, the haste is doing some work, but Judo, this is so close right now.
Oh, he decided to use the freeze on the Wizard Tower so that he could indeed get that down for this main pack. As long as they get to this final defense, then it could still happen. Multi is going down, and it will fall with that amount of minions. Lava pups, ice pups, everything in the mix. As long as there is not a red air bomb, there's no reason that he shouldn't be able to power through the rest of this base now, because there's 0 splash defenses left over.
Yeah, 0 splash, and take a look at this army of pups, lava, ice pups, minions, everything, taking down those defenses. And this means it's yet again a 3-star. And at the beginning, I was not really like worried about like a perfect or whatever. But right now, those teams, I have no clue what is going on. Like, overnight, everything changed, it feels like. And both teams are putting up crazy attacks and numbers in this 3rd seed matchup right now.
They certainly are. Remember, it is stars, percentage, attack time. So, Itsu, who do you think is in the lead on attack time? I think HT Family, because they had 2 very quick attacks where they had, I believe, over a minute left over.
Yeah, I think the dragon attacks are always really nice when it comes down to the attack time category. So yeah, I think HD family should have the advantage over there, but at the same time, it's 2 attacks still to go, right? And typically the last attacks are the attacks with the most pressure, especially if it's like staying right now perfect. And typically it might be not the best plans because you took the longest time to plan on this base. So let's see if they can make this work. But both teams are standing under a lot of pressure, so let's see if there's going to be a team which is struggling or if both teams can get the last attack in perfect as well. We have a Queen Charge Dragon Rider. And as we said, so far Lalo was really successful. He has a double wall break into the compartment, which was quite interesting. Maybe a misdrop, not 1% sure, but he has a jump spell with him as well. So let's see if that's going to work out and if he's going to get that 3-star.
So far, he's run into a few traps up at that top area in terms of the Tesla farm and then the air skelly. He's interested to know whether there's many seeking air mines up there. It's just sending in the loons one by one, but so far not finding anything. At this point, it's more just slowing his queen charge down, which is something you always need to be thinking of, but the ability did indeed go off, sending in the rage just that tad late. And having to use the ability to get through the enemy queen. It's obviously not the end of the world, but I feel you always want that when you're getting into the middle of the base as a little bit of a failsafe.
Yeah, that's always kind of nice to rely on the queen ability, especially now if there's a defending clan cards coming out like the super minions. It's never an easy thing. He's freezing, he's using the poison towards the super minions. So far looks good. Those headhunters need to be taken down though. And the queen is going down! Oh no, and now we have a king charge going on, but I feel like on those clan cards you should always invest the freeze into the super minions and poison the mass archer or mass goblins or whatever is in there, because if you can't get quick access into the headhunters with your queen with that freeze, it's going to be done. Like, you have no chance whatsoever. So let's see if we can still make that work. We saw today crazy attacks which somehow still 3-star. Right now, with those healers being stuck on the barons and not switching to the Royal Champion, I'm not sure if it's looking really that good for him.
No, it's not really looking good here. The Dragon Rider's in the center. That's an interesting invisibility, you have to say. I don't know whether he was trying to clip the Dragon Rider there or redirect it across. It's tough to say, but I totally didn't expect him to use the invisibility spell in the center, and it is definitely not going to happen. Not only is it a defense, this is a huge defense, and it's going to be, well, it's quite a low percentage, being truthful about it, isn't it, Itsu? Which means for MCES, it now looks incredibly good for them to win this war right at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to troll the community just a bit. I mean, just don't use Dragon Riders. Lalo has an incredible success rate today. Yesterday we used Dragon Riders as well. The hit rates were not as high. I mean, come on, it's pretty obvious, right? Lalo still being the king. Oh my god, I have to watch now the chat. But hey, whatever. This is going to be a crazy defense. 74% actually. Which is, I mean, already maybe a decider at this point, because to be honest, 74% is really low on percentage. MCES just have to get better than that, or like have to get a better percentage than that. So 2 stars, 75%. Just use Lalo and you have it pretty much done, I guess.
Guess you just wanted to throw that Lalo in there one last time. I mean, you know, it is testament though that if you really are skillful with it, I think everyone can acknowledge, if you are a top Lalo attacker, it is still super, super strong. It's obviously just the skill cap of that attack strategy, but I don't expect MCES to come in with anything less than that, being honest about it. It really would be a drastic defense in order for them to lose this war, and I think they'll be going strong for the 3 stars as well, knowing that if they get knocked out by alternate attacks, as they obviously did, they can match that perfect. They can at least put on a show themselves and gain as many points as they can towards qualifying to the playoffs. And again, we see the Ice Hounds. We've seen this a little bit with Lavaloon. Is this, what is this, Itsu?
I mean, I'm kidding. He's going in with the lightnings, nice and early, taking down the core. And this base looks quite interesting, having the one multi-inferno tower close to that town hall compartment, having 2 air expos surrounding that town hall, which is quite interesting, but because typically you charge the town hall, so you want to have the ground expos over there, but he's changing up things completely. Now there's the push into that compartment. Queen ability is getting forced super early. The king was not close enough to tank those expo shots. And the king now finally needs to go in because so far the unicorn is getting picked off as well. And the king now finally needs to tank, and now he's running in front of that queen. Defending king, though, is on that royal champion, so not sure if this so far is looking as planned and if he's getting all the value he's hoping for.
No, I think he did want a little bit more than that. Like you said, fortunately, the barbarian king got out in front of the queen so that she could survive that little bit longer, at least clear that eagle compartment. But I do think he wanted a lot more of the west out of the picture. I mean, he's got pretty significant value in terms of clearing out that side. The Lalo has that clear clump down towards the town hall, but you can see the Tesla on that area as well, having to now invest the haste to try and keep the group of Lavaloons in towards the town hall in order to use that warning ability. Tornado Trap is there, which surely he expected. An early warden ability should get through that Giga Bomb, but yes, they will get out of the poison as well.
But there's still the problem with those super minions. They're still staying alive. Now they're sniping this warden out as well. The owl is trying to take those down. There's still 1 super minion staying alive. This right now is not looking as planned either. And I mean, before those 2 attacks, it looked like a perfect, and it seems so far both teams are struggling a little bit. Can this Hound, though, tank good enough the back end scatter? But so far, I'm not sure. The back end dudes are just dying out too quickly. And this seems to be like a defense, but MCES is getting a better percentage, which means they should secure the 3rd seed in this first qualifier of the Clash Masters.
They certainly will. That greater percentage will be the difference maker. We talked earlier, Itsu, about is it better to go first? Is it better to go second? Not that Tryhard altered his plan here, but just thinking back to the HT family attack where he lost his queen ability, maybe knowing that he could commit a freeze in that area to, you know, just assure the queen got into the middle, even if he didn't get the 3-star, but a decent percentage could have impacted how he attacked, not necessarily changing the plan up altogether, but just acting a little bit safer, shall we say, because in the end, that is what has cost HT family. They will take 4th in week 1 of Clash Masters, and it is indeed MCES winning that one by percentage.
Yeah, it was a super fun match, a super close match as well. Both teams had a crazy run in the beginning, going 4 out of 4 each. So that was really creative, and especially what I liked about those matches today so far, we had a huge variety of strategies. Like we had Hawk Riders, we had Dragon Riders, we had Lalo, normal dragons, a lot of different things to watch. I think this is what all about, like, what is the Clash of Clans, right? Like having the variety which those bros are bringing to the table, and seeing all of those strategies is always cool, and trying to understand why they're bringing it on this specific base is kind of like the key thing to understand, and maybe then as well try to copy and try to master as well on your own.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one thing that always intrigues me about the creativity of the attacks. And like you said, just that mixture of troops as well. But moving on from that matchup, we know the seeding, like you said, the points gained and even the prize money from this week 1. But now we need to determine who takes first, gets the most amount of points, and will take away the $1,500 prize for this week. So let's take a quick look at the bracket so we know how things have shaped up. And it is indeed going to be alternate attacks and the Queen Walkers coming up next.
Yeah, I think everyone was waiting for this matchup because, I mean, Queen Walkers, they're known, like they're always the fan favorites, right? So they're putting out those super creative attacks, and we have Alternate, the world champion from 2020. Such a powerful team with all of their players, and so strong on defense as well. So let's see if they can somehow stop the powerhouse of Queen Walkers and get some defenses in, which today we have to say are super rare to find. All of those teams are on fire. Both teams got the perfect war in the semifinals. So this should be a super explosive match.
Well, I think if anybody had have said, pick two teams that you would love to see face off, we would have a high amount of people picking alternate attacks and the Queen Walkers. Like you said, world champions, one of the probably the fan favorite, rematch of last year's World Championship finals. This is going to be incredible. Best of one. No best of three for the final, anything like that. Remember, this is just for points to qualify towards the playoffs. So whoever wins it gets a nicer chunk of the prize pool and obviously better points moving forward. But either way, too, I'm just excited for a fantastic matchup of Clash of Clans.
Yeah, that's for sure. Seeing all of those attacks coming in. But I think we're about to start, so let's get into the first attack. We have Yo-Yo starting things off with the Queen Charge Lalo. So we're looking forward to see what he's coming up with. Charging on the other side of the tunnel. This is, to me, really interesting because whenever I see him Queen Charge or like using the Queen Charge Lalo strategy, it's typically always on the Town Hall side. So this one's going to be interesting to see how he's approaching this base and how he's approaching this setup overall, because the core Sing Inferno Tower might be a big problem for him.
Yeah, just breaking the Queen in so far to that little area and trying to get a quick wall break into this compartment. Just walking around past the Eagle and then presumably diving in towards the enemy Queen. Maybe he'll send something, have the Royal Champion in towards that Eagle. Interesting to see what he's going to do in that region, but as the Queen takes down the defending Queen, she'll be able to continue moving forward here and just being patient on the rest of the wall breaks.
Yeah, there's the next wall break going into that core, so he has access towards that single Inferno Tower. There's the first set of Clan Castle troops coming out. There's a Headhunter in there, which might be a big problem for him. He's using the raids, using everything. There's the Royal Champion, exactly as you predicted. Meanwhile, we have the King going in for the scattered compartment on the right side. This Queen Charge is already looking huge. Can he make that work? Using the Queen ability now, just to make sure that this Inferno Tower is going down before he has to face the Clan Castle. Defending Eagle is going down as well, and this so far is... I mean, to be honest, there's not a lot of base left to actually Lalo at this point, right?
There's not, and for a second I thought he was actually going to walk the Queen down towards the defending Royal Champion and that multi-target Inferno, because she's in that pocket now. She could reach pretty much everything from there and just Lalo those back two compartments. But he does decide to take out 3 compartments with the Lalo, going all out here, Yo-Yo. And so far, everything has clumped together. Has to use the Warden ability to help get through the scatter shot. Hoping he's just got enough force to get through the Town Hall at the end with this balloon push, because, well, he's struggling a little bit.
This is scary, especially with the outside cannon. All of the troops are going to go to the outside first. The Queen is still alive, yes, but the Town Hall is the last building. The one scatter shot was a huge deal on that back end. Now the question is, after having such a good start into this attack, can he make that work? If the Queen is about to die, this is going to be a 1-star. This is looking not good for him, and this might be... What is going on? What is going on? We just had so many 3-stars, and now we're starting off the finals with a 1-star. I'm kind of out of words, especially after this Queen Charge in the beginning. I feel like, as you said, maybe he should have waited to deal with the sweeper, and then maybe with the defending Royal Champion. So just the Lalo was a bit too early, considering how quick Lalo can be. But hey, this is a surprising start to this matchup.
Certainly a surprising start, because, as you said, both of these teams putting up perfect wars, and it's very rare that we do see 1-stars from either team at this caliber. So it really does show, you know, to people at home that 1-stars do happen. If it happens to you in your Clan War League matchups, obviously you want to try and have multiple plans so it doesn't, but you know, it's not the end of the world. It happens to the best of the players, and it's just trying to learn from that and move on from it. Yo-Yo, unfortunate on that one, but as we discussed, I think it was an incredible start. The Queen Charge looked overpowering, to be honest. He seemed to get a lot of value, and Just an interesting move to send the Lalo in when he did, but Stadra with the P.E.K.K.A. Smash, something that we have seen. He's pretty proficient with this attack.
Yeah, and we have now Stadra with the P.E.K.K.A. Smash coming in. I still can't get over this one star. It's so unfortunate. But hey, we see the lock launcher again. I'm feeling happy again. We see the lock launcher again, and this is going to be a lot of logs rolling through that base. I think he's going to angle the lock launcher yet again. That he's going to get rid of all of the defending clan castle troops, which are going to come out there. But there is the double set of skeleton traps. Like, this is going to be not easy to deal with. There is the one super wizard. Oh, he needs to rage it. He needs to rage the warden. And that was barely in time, but he made it work and saved that warden ability for later in this attack.
He certainly did, because that is huge. If he'd have lost that warden ability, it really would have been like, what are we watching in terms of the start of this war? Queen Walkers, though, are going to be able to rescue that little start. One thing I always find interesting is Stadra likes to take the Golem in with his P.E.K.K.A. Smash as well, but he's got 3 Ice Golems alongside this one. Looks like the other 2 are going to be for his hero push to the right-hand side, and just allowing that Golem in the main army to absorb a lot of damage for not just the P.E.K.K.A. but the Super Witches as well. The Super Wizards, sorry.
Yeah, that's right for sure. And take a look at those healer switches. Perfect healer switch. Those P.E.K.K.A. at this point they are just getting healed up again every single second again. He's just the warden ability, which he can use at any point in this attack. Maybe going to use that really soon, because this defending town hall is start shooting back to those troops. The Royal Champ is trying to push everything back towards the town hall, but right now I'm not sure the warden is not really following. The warden needs to follow soon, and he's right now like tanking and using those healers for nothing. Oh, can this work? Another invisibility spell, but this attack should get the 2nd star. But is it going to be a 3-star? Still the warden ability. Does he even need to use the warden ability? Where is he going to use it right now? Maybe for the queen? Or is he going to try to swag it? What is going on?
I thought he was going to use it for the queen. I was almost assured that he was. Oh my gosh. And then, you know, you're saying, is he trying to swag it? It looks like maybe he was, because he used it to protect the Yetis when it wasn't really even needed. It is going to, well, be close due to the storages, and maybe he shouldn't have tried to swag it, because the Archer Queen would have had one of those storages down. 11 seconds. Tornado traps there. Oh my word.
Oh, it was low.
Oh my god.
Last second, but yeah, that would have been kind of funny, to be honest, because he kind of tried to swag the warden, then noticed, oh, it's going to be close. Should I swag it? Should I not swag it? Wasn't really sure, and then the queen died already. So he could have made this way more one-sided with using the warden ability, actually. But hey, a 3-star is a 3-star. This is what counts. And after the first attack already, we have a 2-star lead for Queen Walkers against Alternate. And now Alternate need to do the same thing what they had to do in the first match yesterday. Need to concentrate, keep doing their thing, and hoping that Queen Walkers eventually is going to drop a couple of stars. And, well, hopefully that they can keep 3-starring.
Exactly like you said yesterday, Itsu. They just need to focus on their own game. Make sure that they are putting full energy into those 4 attacks to give them the best result possible, and just hope that their bases do hold up. But as you mentioned, a dream start for the Queen Walkers. I don't think they would have expected to be 2 stars in the lead after the first attack against Alternate. We have Boom going back to his Blizzard method, but using the Dragon Riders on this one. In Itsu maybe wanted to switch from the Lalo just for you.
Yeah, I mean, he did that already, I think, yesterday. I think it did not 3-star back then, so let's see if he can make the revenge now against this base from Gaku over here. The value already is pretty nice, already getting out the clan castle, which is a huge thing with this strategy. Being able to take that out nice and early, because with taking out the clan castle so early, this is a huge defense regarding defending the attacking heroes. So being able to take that out early is a huge deal. But is the queen going to the right direction? She should be, right? Yeah, she's going for this town hall. And then we're going to see the king and the royal champion pretty soon as well.
Yep, looks like he's just creating that pathing to dive the king in towards the multi-target Inferno. Royal Champion can obviously help with that. Getting the defending queen out of the way as well will be huge over there, meaning that the Dragon Riders can swoop in from the northeast and take the Royal Champion down pretty early. Looks like he's saving the Royal Champion for the Dragon Riders. I thought he might have sent it in with the king to hopefully get across for that scatter shot, but is going to send the Dragon Riders up from the top with that Royal Champion, and all is looking pretty good so far with 2 invisibilities left over.
Yeah, using those invisibility spells maybe... Okay, never mind. I want to say to take down the defending king or make it invisible. But hey, now we have a lot of traps inside this core, and this is exactly what we're talking about with those Dragon Riders. If those Black Mines are hitting them, they're going to die kinda quickly, and we have the back and ground expert as well to defend against the Royal Champion. Can this still work? He has the freeze, he has the invisibility spells, which he said already, and this right now is looking pretty convincing right there. We have a Dragon Rider 3-star coming in for alternate, and this one is with 3 Dragon Riders alive and the Royal Champion perfectly staying alive as well against all of the defending heroes and the ground expos. This was a really quick attack for Boom and finding the revenge to make sure they're, I want to say, staying in this match, but so far the lead from Cleanwalkers is still quite big, to be honest. But I mean, hey, the chance is somehow still there. Let's put it like this, and let's see if they, can somehow make the comeback possible.
Absolutely. He's so consistent with the Blizzard, Boom, that he made that look easy. And as you mentioned, they had to 3-star to have any opportunity here. I mean, Queen Walkers need to slip up not just once, but twice. But obviously, if he didn't 3-star there, then it really would start to look like, you know, potentially 3 stars behind with 3 attacks to go. You're questioning whether it's over before the halfway mark, really. But getting the 3 stars means that should they get a defense here, that's only a 1-star difference with 3 attacks. That's then a lot bigger of a chance for them to catch up.
Yeah, for sure, because, I mean, yes, it was a 1-star, but it was still a quite high percentage attack. The worst thing would be obviously having a 1-star and it being a low percentage because something completely went wrong. But with still having a quite high percentage with only 1 defense or something like that, they could be already back in game. And this is still only the start of the match, right? So a lot of things can still happen. And at the same time, they just need to concentrate on their own offense. We know that Alternate can come back from things like this. Against Queen Walkers, it's not going to be easy, but still, let's take a look at the next attack of Gaku against this base of Siren with the Inferno Dragon and Dragon Riders coming in on this base.
Yeah, interesting. Something we don't always see from Gaku. Using that early Warden ability to get the Battle Blimp across. Maybe a little bit worried about baits on this one. Decided to just mix up the attack strategy, or perhaps just felt like giving it a shot. Who knows? But Inferno Dragons have got a good strong push, and they, again, I like the heal spell for the Inferno Dragons because you often see them go down relatively easily in the center of the base, but just look at the amount of red air bombs that they are absorbing, but then being healed back up. A good strong push so far from Gaku.
Yeah, that's for sure. Maybe one of the reasons why he's bringing the strategy is because he is, already training for the ClashMSTRS, the tournament of Carbon as well, where they're playing together. And Jack, his team partner, is being really famous for this attack strategy. So maybe he learned from him. And I mean, he has taught him everything. Just take a look at the overpowering attack, which Gaku has just shown. This is not even close. Queen ability, not even used, like just used for time purposes. A huge overkill from Gaku. And wow, that was impressive. Really, really quick strike to take down the base from Iron. And I'm still blown away. Like, this was a super quick attack. Super simple, just with the heal spell as he said, and super effective.
1 minute and 27 seconds. Come on, Gaku, at least give us something to commentate, buddy. It took down the base too quick for us. Not quite as quick as I said. I believe he got 1 minute 16 in one of the community tournaments, but as you mentioned, clearly picking up how to beat bases with that attack strategy, and you can see why clans will want to use it, because I mean, it just burns down the bases. I wish I could learn those techniques that he certainly just picked up, because that was amazing to see.
Yeah, I feel like the most important thing are like sweeper setups, obviously, and then things like the pathing of those Inferno Dragons with the Dragon Riders, which apparently was really, really good for him on this base. I think it's the difficult thing to spot those, like spot the weak point of the base, especially if it's not symmetrical. So you have to choose the side, obviously, and maybe the blimp angle and the timing. But he made things look super easy on this one, and getting into the next 3-star. And so far, Queenwalkers is showing no weakness whatsoever, which Alternate needs at this point. Like, yes, Alternate needs some defenses, but so far, Queenwalkers are just saying, guys, we're just doing our thing, just keep 3-starring, and it's not going to be easy at any point for Alternate. We still have Stars coming up, Klaus, and Utah, so it's not going to be any easier to defend at some point. For Alternate at this point, it's all about just keep 3-starring to somehow stay inside this match and hope for the best.
Yeah, I mean, if Queenwalkers continue to do what they do, then I mean, they're going to close this one out relatively quick, aren't they, with the 2 stars they already have in the lead. So Alternate really do just need to focus on their game, as you mentioned, and hope they get a slip up. But, you know, we mentioned in terms of after that last attack from Boom, oh, if the next one's a defense, and then Gaku goes and does that. So it's not really looking likely at this stage, but I guess we can, you know, just wait and find out. I would say, though, about the Inferno Dragon strategy, I know we were briefly discussing the strategy and specifics of it. I feel it's a little bit like the Electro Dragons, where it looks easy, but actually the spell deployments of the skeleton spells and just being able to get the timing and the position of those right is a little bit tricky as well. It looks like just a spam strategy, but the spell placement is so critical.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Like, it looks way easier than it is. And we have the next attack coming in on this base from Sadra. And he's coming in with a Queen Charge Dragon Rider with 1 Yeti overall, charging his king into that compartment. The Queen meanwhile is designed to take down the Town Hall compartment then. Then we have for the back end those Dragon Riders. I like already the look of having like the Slammer in this army composition. I'm a huge fan of that. I think it's way stronger than the Blimp. And let's see if Iron can somehow showcase that on this attack.
Nice wall break there towards the Wizard Tower to open that up. Also has the Yeti, obviously, on the cannon to funnel that as the Queen will take down the Clan Castle troops. And as you mentioned, be able to have that stab in towards the Town Hall. Has multiple rage spells that he can commit to the Archer Queen, and still has the 3rd wall break. So looks as if Sir Iron is wanting to get his queen in towards the inside, and as long as he gets her towards those multis, he could just create that pathing, as you mentioned, for the Dragon Riders, who could sweep probably over from the 3 o'clock area, giving the sweeper placement. Just being patient here. With the Stone Slammer, he doesn't have to worry as much about time on the Dragon Riders, because Stone Slammer, Royal Champion, he can flush through that top area pretty quick, so he can now allow a little bit more time for his Queen Charge.
Yeah, but he needs to be careful with not taking too much time for the Queen Charge. Let's see where he's starting off. I think he's going to start from the right side. Yes, in the back of the sweeper, sending everything in. It's 1 minute and 15 seconds for this attack, so time is for sure going to be close, but he can use the warning ability any second now. There it goes. There is another rage as well, just to make sure those Dragon Riders are getting through all of those defenses just a little bit quicker. The Slammer by this time already, though, is opened and released a couple of more I think one more Dragon Rider was in there as well, and this Queen is now charging in there, taking some more defenses out, some Tesla, and the back-end Eagle is the biggest threat at this point.
It certainly is. He still has the Queen ability, RC ability that he can use. Decides to use the invisibility to catch some of the Dragon Riders as well. That was perfect, actually. Got not just the Royal Champion, but every Dragon Rider inside that invisibility so that he could then use the Royal Champion to ping through a couple of those defenses. Really, like you said, it's just going to be time coming down to the end of it because he couldn't really send the minions in. And even though he has, one of them has got picked off. And that is huge, given that the Queen has had to bypass down towards the south of the base. It's actually going to be a couple of seconds short. Can you believe it? Which means that alternate attacks could find themselves 3 stars behind in this war, depending on the next attack from the Queen Walkers.
Yeah, for alternate, they had to 3-star to stay somehow in this match. At this point, it's going to be, more unlikely and more unlikely, which is really, really tricky for them to stay in that. Queen Walkers, they have a really chill situation right now. Like, they have everything in their own hands. They could get a 3-star lead if they're getting another 3-star in. And this would be, wow, I mean, 3-star lead after already 3 attacks each or something. That is not an easy thing to overcome or come back from. And, well, looking forward to see what Stars does next for Queen Walkers. But typically he has something creative in store for us to enjoy and obviously enjoy watching them.
Yeah, Stars, I think, is just one of the best players in the world. Not just his creativity, but the way he's always so calm as he does the attacks. And everything is so well planned out and structured. But interestingly, we are seeing another dragon-style attack from the Queen Walkers. It looks like it's more of a mass dragon, but I'm interested on those invisibility spells. Is he doing a blizzard into dragons? Certainly looks that way.
Yeah, it looks that way. It's a super risky blimp. He's trying to get onto... No! I thought he would try to get onto the clan castle or something, but he has something completely different planned right there. There's the first giant bomb, though. If there's somewhere a small bomb, this could be a quick finish or like a quick... Oh no, there's only one giant bomb. That's interesting. No small bomb added to this one, which could have been kind of devastating to those super wizards right there. And now the Queen should walk around, and then we can see already the pathing for those dragons later on from this top right side. But the Queen and the King for sure need to take down their town hall to make their plan somehow work.
Yeah, you can already see that pathing, as you said, but look at the channel as well with that open wall where he's just going to allow the Archer Queen to walk down and in there towards the town hall. Does he even just send the King to the outside? I mean, he's not got any healers for the Queen, so yeah, he is going to break the King in, but at a different angle to the Queen, which is quite smart here to allow the Queen to just sneak in the back door, if you will, towards the town hall. There is the blimp, the tornado trap, obviously down that area to bait the blimp, but with that Queen ability, he'll get that town hall and move on forward.
Yeah, and maybe he can get now the Single Furniture as well, and the Air Expo on the back end. Taking that out would be always great, and he's choosing a complete different angle than what I thought. Like, he thought what? Not going to the Eagle first, having the Eagle on the back end, that is super surprising to me. Really, like, looking forward to see if this is going to be enough power-wise, because back end Eagle is typically something which is really scary. Yes, this one Dragon Rider for the left air defense as well, if you want to deploy it any second now. The Scatter Shot, though, is dealing a ton of damage right now. There's the Funnel E-Dragon to push all of those dragons back inside the base.
Yeah, it's interesting for sure. I mean, he's doing okay right now, as we see. He's still got 2 freeze spells for the back end of the base. 4 balloons that he can hopefully send in towards that air defense. But the Royal Champion is not going to get the Eagle. I thought he might have committed a freeze spell in order to help her do that. However, it's not looking too bad here as the Eagle falls. The balloons cruise on towards that air defense and take it down.
Wow.
He's actually going to get this very convincingly, Itsu.
Yeah, I thought it would be super close, like with the back-end Eagle, especially against dragons, which are typically kind of like slow overall. I thought it would be like a pretty close attack, but I mean, Stars is showing us how it's done with those dragons. exactly knowing how many loons he needs to save for this back and air defense. This is so impressive. Like, always take a look at his posts on Twitter, for example, when he's showing how he's beating the new challenge, like how many swag troops he can use, how many time he has left. This is just so impressive. Like, I feel like he's just living Clash of Clans. He exactly knows how many troops he needs for which building, and this is exactly showcased in that attack just there. We have the next attack already coming in, a Queen Charge Dragon Rider with 6 Dragon Riders. This is a lot of Dragon Riders for a Queen Charge based attack, so let's see how that goes.
It certainly is. I mean, he's managed to keep 10 minions, which is important. I feel if you're taking any less than that, then you are going to run the risk of a time fail in terms of the Dragon Riders. It is super important to have. We kind of missed the start a little bit there. King did get into that compartment and take it down, but the Archer Queen is going to be relatively safe getting the Clan Castle, and then you can see the wall break into that Town Hall compartment. So it looks all calculated so far for Ast, but it's really, like you said, that strong push with the Dragon Riders and with the Stone Slammer to support it. Looks like he could have a lot of power through the back end of the base.
Yeah, and Eagle looks really nice to get into, but at this point, where is he going to send the Royal Champion? Is he going to send the Royal Champion with those Dragon Riders? That's the big question right now. The Queen should now walk inside. She's looping around that wall, should get into the town hall soon, but there is the Single Inferno Tower non-stop shooting at her. Invisibility spell is getting used as well. Eagle shots, what are they going? Okay, Eagle shots are going into something useful. And we have the Royal Champion forcing everything back inside. And there is the Dragon Rider start from the right side. Slammer in, not just yet. Maybe to push everything back inside onto the mortar. But this so far is looking really, really strong for what Ast is doing.
Yeah, and he's still got a wall break, which is perfect for the Archer Queen. Just look at that. To allow the Queen into the middle, take the multi, and even get to work on the Tesla. The Royal Champion down the bottom as well has worked out perfect. I mean, is he even going to lose a Dragon Rider here? There is so much left over. He's still got the Queen ability despite such an extensive Queen charge. And yeah, Dragon Riders are going to indeed crush this base. We've got the King as a last-ditch attempt to try and slow down the minions, but with this many Dragon Riders, the Queen alive, the RC alive, there is no chance. What an attack by Ast, showing the power of the Dragon Riders here, Itsu, when you can indeed get a proficient Queen charge.
Yeah, that's for sure. The Queen charge was beautiful. Getting the Queen, even the last layer, into the core, into the multi-inferno tower. And those Dragon Riders, the pathing was just perfect. No sweeper against them. And they just went through this like nothing. Always the King creating this pathing in the beginning, which you mentioned, was key. Getting the scatter shot out of the way, luring out the clan cast, everything perfectly planned. And now we have, yet again, Queen Walkers. And we have Klaus, the man, the myth, the thumbnail legend, getting in his next attack. And I'm looking forward to see what he's going in next with, like his attack strategy and what he's trying to attempt next. He already did earlier today a crazy hero dive with the jump and Lalo, which was quite impressive to watch. So let's see if he's going to do something creative like this again.
Yeah, I'm sure that whatever he comes up with, he always has those little moments that just make it a Klaus attack, doesn't he? And he certainly doesn't have the pressure that he had within the first war, where it was very, very close between Queen Walkers and HT family. They're a little bit more in, the driving seat for this one, but do they go all out to really put on a show here and smash the victory over alternate attacks? So that's the main question. As we were discussing yesterday, I'm sure the plans don't change a lot, but maybe there's little things within the strategy that they see and that he wants to be creative with, and it's just whether he then takes that risk to do so. But we do have a jump spell. It's not going to be the Queen charge, but it's going to be the invisibility Queen charge, we can suspect.
Or is it? I guess it's going to be a blizzard, as this entry looks like right now. But I mean, you never can be sure, to be honest, even if you see the start of the attack. But so far, it's... Wait, why is he having giants in there? What is... What? I'm kind of confused by those giants. I guess the giants were designed to do off the clan castle. Like, he did not want to invest too much into this blizzard. He just wanted to take down the eagle, lure out the clan castle as well, which is obviously something really powerful because having not to deal with the lava hound inside the base is something really important. And now he's having a golem push. And my prediction would be that he's trying to push in from the top right side into the town hall with that jump. This is a classic Klaus plan. Like, to be honest, let's see how that works. There's a double wall break to get his queen into the mix as well. But the scatter... No! The wall break is actually surviving, leading everything into the next compartment. And now the Royal Champion is coming in. Probably designed to take down the multi-Inferno Tower in the core as well. And this... I mean, if this is going to go to plan and he's going to get the tunnel, where is that base? Like, this is just looking incredible value-wise. Like, how do you have plans like this? What is going on?
I have no idea how he does this. I mean, the fact that he can get so much value from the heroes is incredible. There we have the he still has 2 invisibilities for the queen that he's not used yet. And her ability for the town hall. Now he can Lalo just those 2 little compartments at the bottom of the base. He still has 5 spells, Itsu, unused, and yet the base is pretty much gone. Klaus with, yet again, a masterclass.
Yeah, there's the Nado though. This multi-Inferno Tower could be a big threat right now. Maybe we were calling it too early. He has not too many spells left now at this point. Red bombs and the dream could be over. Typically though, the red bombs are inside the core of the base. But most of those dunes are pretty low already on hit points. And there is the back and air defense. Need to make sure that he's sniping this outer tower maybe with those remaining loons. No one said he's going for the Tesla on the back end. The question now, is this going to be enough? Can those loons finish off their defense? And it looks like, yes, they can with those minions tanking. And time should be no issue whatsoever either, I think. Yeah, those loons are going to... Wait a second, the baby dragon just died.
Oh, no! The baby dragon went down to the Seeking Air Mine. Is it going to be enough? Grandwater moves across with the owl. 3, 2, is it enough? Oh, it's not! Can you believe the HP on that clan castle must have been 1. It was that close. Wow.
The plan was OP. I think it's just this one invisibility spell, which cost it, where he made the Wizard Tower invisible, and the Wizard Tower with pretty much 0 HP, I think, took down so many hit points of those loons. But yeah, it was an incredible plan either way. It's always like a crazy movie to watch with those attacks of Klaus. But I mean, at this point still we have to face it, right? This match still is out of hands for Alternate. They're coming in with their last attack, which is Musk coming in with yet again another Queen Charge Dragon Rider. It kind of seems like that Alternate heard my statement, which I said earlier, and trying to convince me otherwise. So let's see if this Queen Charge Dragon Rider is going to be as OP as the attack of us just was, which was really impressive to watch.
It certainly was, and interesting base design here from Utah 14. But Mask is going to have his Queen Charge direct in towards that Town Hall. Can actually just nicely lure out the Clan Castle troops pretty easily here early on in order to take that down comfortably. But the sweeper behind the Town Hall could be a little bit of an issue, particularly as he charges forward and pushing those healers back. I'm just intrigued as to what he's going to push through the middle here. And exactly with the Royal Champion, is he going to try and flank something, or is he actually going to just send it in with the Dragon Riders? What do you think, Itsu?
It's a tough call at this point, to be honest. There are so many possibilities which he could go for. Sending in the King now. He could send for one of the scatter shots, the Royal Champion in. So there are a lot of possibilities at this point. I guess it's depending on his choice right now, what he wants to go for. So we kind of have to wait and see what he thinks right now is the best choice. There's the Royal Champion. I'm not sure if she is going inside. I feel like she might go towards the Wizard Tower at this point. Where I think the scatter shot might be the better place to go. There is the NATO trap, but the Royal Champion finally arrived. Wait a second. The defending queen jumped over and he's not getting that scatter out of the way.
He froze as well. He froze, it got the scatter, but the RC was already down and the queen actually jumped out of reach from that. Look at that one balloon he's sending across to try and take it down because he knows it has just a tiny little bit of health. Still has the queen ability for down the bottom, but the Dragon Riders have a little bit of an issue here to get through the sweeper onto the single target Inferno when we know that there's going to be traps in that area as well, presumably.
Yeah, but the Dragon Riders are still going strong. The one Dragon Rider in the core, he used so many spells for it to save it and maybe take down even the single Inferno Tower, which is looking good right now. And yes, it's going down with the last shot. And this means it is going to be another 3-star. So many Dragon Riders alive, and Musk is getting that 3-star on Utah. And I mean, even though they had this unfortunate start, they're still getting those 12 stars on the board. But at this point, it means only 2 stars should get Queen Walkers that victory at the end of the day. And we can see the stats right now below us as well. It's looking really good for Queen Walkers.
Yeah, particularly because they've only dropped 1 percentage point as well. So even if they were to get a high percentage 1-star, as you were saying the alternate attacks one was, then they would still get the war essentially. But save 2-star being a easier option. Either way though, Utah 14 is just going to really try and put the cherry on top, get the 3-star and put up a commanding performance, because remember, it is only week 1 of the Clash Masters and all of the teams will be starting fresh again next week, and that is how you can also get involved. We'll tell you a little bit about that after this next attack, because we have to give full focus to Utah 14. He always has some impressive queen charges.
Yeah, I feel like he's already queen charging the 1-star 90% only with his queen. So let's see if he can make that work with his next attack. Queen charge Lalo, queen charge Dragon Rider is his thing. And what is he going for? Queen charge Dragon Rider it is on this base of us. Bring a couple of invisibility spells as well to the mix, just to make sure that his queen is staying safe. Especially if charging into one of those single Inferno Towers, it might be a good choice bringing that. 3 super wall breakers, so not as crazy as usual. But let's see how this charge into the tunnel compartment is going to work.
Easy funnel with the sneaky goblin, just nicely taking that out. I feel the super troops certainly have sneaky goblin and super wall breakers. I would say is the most popular. I know we see a few of the other troops, but definitely this tends to be the war combination for just setting up the funneling and then getting into the base. Nicely set off that funnel on the opposite side for the queen to dive in. And there's a few dangerous defenses around this town hall, as you said it, to just trying to defend the town hall with it being so strong currently in terms of that poison. You really need to either hero dive it, blizzard, or the queen charge. You do not want to be sending your main army through it, that is for sure. So that's why we tend to see those big defenses around it, and Utah 14 is going to have to turn everything invisible because he's dealing with the Clan Castle troops and still has a single beaming down on his queen.
Yeah, not sure if that invisibility spell was the right choice. It feels like maybe a freeze would have been a better choice. Making her invisible though, yet again, now it's a really good move because he's making his queen go strong against that single Inferno Tower. Needs to freeze it yet again. So a lot of spells were invested to get through this part of the base. And now we have the Dragon Rider starting in from the right side. First, Black Knight's already hitting, so maybe this attack was expected by Alternate. Let's see if they were able to somehow bait this. First Dragon Rider is already gone out of the game already. And now it's all about the Stammer tanking as many Black Mines as possible. There are the Headhunters. This means Warden ability really soon as well to protect them. And the defending Royal Champion should be taking down the first. The next 2 Black Mines are being tanked by that Warden ability. And now the attacking King in for the Eagle. Royal Champion in there to push everything through the core. This is not looking too bad.
It's not looking too bad at all. If the king gets this eagle down pretty quick in combination with the Royal Champion, as it does, it will help the Dragon Riders. But unfortunately, the Dragon Riders did indeed go down to that area. King not quite taking it down fast enough.
Wait.
And it's falling short towards the end. Is the RC ability going to be the savior? He's got no spells. It's not going to be enough. Itsu moving down to it. Just lost out too much in terms of those Dragon Riders. And another defense for this strategy.
Wow, like the Dragon Riders just disappeared. I feel like there were so many still going strong, and the Warden ability even blocked 2 Black Mines. And then from, yeah, like a couple of seconds only, those Dragon Riders just disappeared. Even with the Royal Champion and the King pushing in from the bottom side to have the perfect pathing into the core, it feels like Alternate 100% guaranteed saw this plan. And we saw already the first couple of early Black Mines. And this was a good indication to show that this attack was baited. But hey, we have the winner of the first week's qualifier. And this is Queen Walkers winning against Alternate.
13 to 12 stars, a fantastic war either way, and it is going to mean that Queen Walkers have the most amount of points and they do win the prizing as well. So why don't we take a look at the bracket so we can see it fully completed for you, what we have casted in the previous 2 days. Queen Walkers being victorious all of the way through, Alternate obviously second. We did see that 3rd place matchup as well. It's to MCES beating HT Family, and we will start to see the leaderboard shaping up a little bit, but it is only week 1.
Yeah, it's only week 1, so let's take a look at the leaderboards because, I mean, with week 1 already over, we can see the first couple of points. We can see those points coming in. 15 points for Queen Walkers, 12 for Alternate, and so on. So a lot of points are getting collected all over. Fireworks, NT Legends, Space Station, and Top and Empire all getting 6 points on the board. And those leaderboards are going to be, well, updated every single qualifier for the next 2 weeks. And then we're going to see our top 4 teams. This is why they're highlighted in yellow to make sure that, well, all of you guys can see which are the teams who are going to get to the playoff stage, because that one is then going to happen after the last qualifier.
Absolutely. So that is why the top 4 positions are so important. Week 1 done, but we still have week 2 and 3 to add to those points, and week 4. Now, if you want to grab your team, get involved, and try and work your way up to that area, be sure to follow ClashMasters on Twitter, but also Discord. It's exactly the same, /ClashMasters. You can see the information below, and registration for next week, week 2 of the qualifiers, is already live. You can go to Discord to find out all of the information that you need.
Yeah, the registration is closing on Saturday for the 2nd qualifier right there. And I think we should take a look at the pricing maybe yet again, because, well, there's a lot on the line for every single qualifier as well. Because, well, come on, there's a lot of it's a lot of money, $1,500 for every single qualifier. And then for the playoffs, that's where the big money is on the line. $5,000 for the first seed over there. And it's going to be 8 teams who are getting into the playoffs. So, Judo, this is going to be a really interesting journey for those teams to get through all of this and hopefully earn a lot of money.
It certainly is, and it just shows that even if you wanted to be involved for just 1 week of this, you could win some prize money for that individual week, even if you didn't get through to the main event in terms of the playoffs. But obviously, that is what the teams are aiming for. So thank you so much for joining us for this first week of Clash Masters. We have an entire tournament left to go, as we've been discussing. Any final thoughts from yourself, Itsu, before we close out?
I just can't wait to get into the next matches, to be honest. Like, those matches today were incredible. Like, just, like, so far the last couple of weeks we saw a lot of Dragon Riders, but today with such a high hit rate, we saw so many different strategies. Queen Charge, Hawk Rider, Suilalo, and different variations with, like, Lightnings, with Blizzard, everything around that. So many different attack strategies. Today was a blast casting with you, and I can't wait to get into the next week, to be honest.
Absolutely. I feel exactly the same. Always enjoy casting with you. Thank you to all of the players, everyone that has been watching, everybody behind the scenes. But be sure to tune in exact same time and place next week for week 2 of Clash Masters.